Testing, testing, testing.
Tasting, tasting, tasting.
It was working 2 seconds ago.
Yeah.
It's
Never mind. We'll do that again.
not.
People can still see me.
I was wondering why I couldn't hear myself. In this scene, we're working though.
We'll be there now, people. By the way, are you gonna ask me a question after you do introductions, or do I just start talking?
Just start talking.
Oh, that's on stream.
Testing, testing, testing. Are we live? Oh, yes, food.
Yes,
Aha.
okay.
Awesome.
Yes, we live. Third time's the charm. Roidzz,
Okay.
hit us. Intro us.
Hello and welcome everybody to the pre-game. Oh my goodness, sound. The pre-game for the game between DSG and Troepe. I got that better the first and the second time. That was terrible. I'm your host today, Alex Rymill, and I will be joined today by Jan Spartan van der Westhuizen. How are you doing today, Jan?
Still well. For the third time. Okay, while you're dying. Yeah, I'm doing well. I'm excited. These games are gonna be very hype. We have two teams that ended up very closely during the leg to each other. Troepe ending in sixth place and DSG ending in seventh. They played each other just like a month and a bit ago, and they went 2-1 in the favor of Troepe. So, and Troepe has taken games of Era Millennium, taken games of and other very good teams. ATG Southside when they were still a thing. And I'm very excited to see what they can do. The same thing can be said for DSG. Taking games of good teams. These are two teams that we expect to end at the top half of this bracket or of this group, and I'm just excited to see them go and duke it out. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, and just looking at Trooper, I think it's really interesting to find out that they are actually a private team in a sense, where they aren't actually technically supported by an org. We were just told that they just a group of friends that are just playing together. So to achieve this high in Prem seems to be like quite a big achievement.
Yeah, and that's how I feel like a lot of teams start that way, and it is very like surprising to see a team unrepresented, you can say, and they are in Prem. I'm surprised they haven't been picked up. And then you have DSG as well, and we'll talk to the owner of DSG in a bit, who is a new org, literally didn't exist last year, right? Coming in first split, they're in split, chasing Evo the whole way into Prem, and ended up seventh in Prem, and they're already in finals. And this is not an existing team they picked up. They had parts, and they've mixed and matched, and it's super interesting to see that stuff happen because it's not easy to do. A lot of people have tried, not a lot of people have done it.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah, and we've hyped a lot about all of these sort of new teams and new players coming in with the right attitude and the positive attitude, and like we've had a little bit of time to speak to these two guys before we got into game, and I mean they're both super positive people and they're like shining lights of the community. I've really enjoyed the small amount of time that I have chatted with them.
Yeah. I just want to say hello to everyone in chat. Some feedback we did get after our previous calls is you guys want us to talk to you a little bit more. I don't want to give all of you attention because I don't like all of you. No, I'm just kidding. But just want to say hello to everyone. And if there's sound issues or anything, just say because Kyle is probably watching chat and he can fix the stuff in the background. If there's any. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this game. There's some players that I'm very keen and want to watch out for. Is so much free wow or something like that. He- Very strange name. He's the AD carry, especially the AD carry side of it. But now, when you look at these two teams matching up, you see that DSG heavily favors Ian Fino in the jungle, a very experienced player, been around for a very long time. He can take over the game if you give him a chance. So he takes over the game by himself. Penta Demon, we also know, is a very good player, and they have a competent mid laner that can play a Zypherr, the Roidzz, Zig, stuff like that. And then their bot lane's good. But then you're looking at Troepe, who their bot lane is kind of like what carries them. You know, you have so much free well, and you have Lesnack. And when looking at the game that they played against each other in leg three, the games that Trooper won will just look like it was so much free well, just like running it through with Lesnack and bot lane. So I'm, very excited to see what the game plans are going in with these two teams.
Well, why don't we stop talking about these two teams and get two of the captains in? Jan, would you like
Yeah.
to give us a little introduction to who we'll be inviting into the chat?
Yeah, so first of all, from DSG is the CEO and owner, I'm pretty sure, is Yuvandre. He can tell us if I'm wrong on that. And then from Trooper, we have Lesnack. I hope I'm saying that right. Hopefully, he's not going to sell us a Lesnack oil. But yeah, but welcome, gents. How are you guys feeling? Both of
Yeah,
Feeling
thank you
good.
so much. Yeah.
It's nice to be here.
That's good. Now, Yuvandre, I really want to get your take on this. Like I said in before your introduction was, you guys are new. First like split or first like year as an organization, especially in league. And for you guys being in Prem already and being involved in the community, that must be very exciting. Especially being at your first VS final.
Yeah, it's definitely the journey has been fun. You know, I remember in March when we were trying to get everybody together to set up a team and everything. And it's like it was very difficult in the beginning because we've got this idea as a organization to kind of grow and be in there with big names in the organization or in this esports scene, and then having to approach players, but they don't know you. So that kind of left us in a spot where, like you've mentioned earlier as well, is we didn't pick up a full team. This was all a bunch of players that was scouted, and so far, the guys are doing really well. Really looking forward to tonight because just before Prem started, our supports and our jungler left, and then
Yeah.
right going into Prem, we versus Troepe, and like you mentioned, it's that bot lane of Troepe is like there's
Deadly.
it's not a joke. Like they're
Yeah.
extremely strong. So that was kind of like it was a difficult one, having a new support in and then having a new jungler in as well. So yeah, super excited for tonight, and yeah.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. And obviously, you guys having lost those players, now you picked up a new support, you picked up a new jungler, like we mentioned in Fino, in your support, Nick. And it's, they are doing very well. Now, throwing it over to you, Lesnek. I don't even know if I'm saying your name right, but
No, it's correct. It's
okay,
Lesnek,
cool.
yes.
Now you guys have, like you've mentioned, you have played them before, and
Yes.
it very much looked in the games that you won, very much looked like a bot heavy win. You got like one game, so much really well, had over 20 kills on Israel. He was doing a lot of
21
work.
and 3.
Yeah, 21 and 3. So is that something that you guys, is that your win condition? You're playing, okay, cool. If we get bot ahead, this is just free, or is that just how you naturally play? Since you guys have been a group of friends
Such
for a
free
while.
much wow is definitely our star player. But in leg 3, when we versus down south, we actually didn't have our starting mid laner. He was taking a break. We have him now, so we have multiple win conditions, and yeah, we're ready on all fronts.
Well, that's good to hear. So you guys have been in Prem, and
Yes.
having him there in the bot lane and you guys working together. So it's very much, you baby him through the early game. That's what supports you. You're like, come, little child. You're little now, and then hopefully late game he does a lot of work. And
My main job is to keep him back. He just wants to fight the whole time, kill everyone.
that I think that's just a South African AD carry thing. You see people like Vanzo and Klagzo and all of these AD carries, they like to go forward. There's none of this
Oh,
flashing backwards. I flash forward because I want to kill everything there.
uh,
And then, yeah, go ahead.
one drafty, he was screaming at me, pick a vein. I'll ban vein or I'm gonna pick it, because he just wanted to fight. So yeah, no.
Now, also looking at that, looking at the stuff that you guys have played, you played a lot of the Philios, a lot of the Israel, a lot of, stuff like Vayne. Now, seeing as those champions have dropped off a little bit in priority, is he happy playing the new, like, stronger meta stuff like the Ashe, the Caitlyn, stuff like that, maybe Senna even? Jhin?
The meta is definitely not favoring us at the moment, but we have workarounds. I think there's a couple of picks. If you give us those picks in bot lane, you can't win. So we'll see if they did their research on
see.
those.
Yeah, we'll see what you guys decide to pull out. And then you've already, there's a question I want to ask you, but it's more for the people. Because I know exactly how this feels. Is once your boys are in game, there's nothing you can do, right? So before the game starts, I mean, we're gonna let you go soon to go speak to them. Do you have like a thing that you prepare to tell them, or you just make sure that they feel like comfortable? Or what is your game plan? Putting them in the right mindset to go and play a potentially very hard game.
Yeah, so this is something that we've been preparing for this. When we got into the group, we knew that there was two difficult games, and that was going to be Era and obviously ATK. Sorry, not Era, Troepe. So our mindset from our previous two games that we won, and we're currently standing on the scoreboard. We're standing 4-0. We knew, okay, cool. That's just a preparation for tonight. So the boys are ready. It's always difficult because I can only do so much from my side. Is I can go and I can give a little pep talk and everything. But the guys have been doing a lot of work over the last, I would say, 2 weeks. So anything I can do is I can just be like the little dad in the background cheering them on and enjoy a stream.
No, definitely. Okay, so yeah, I think we are gonna let you guys go back to your team and talk a little bit, unless there's something else you want to ask, Alex.
No,
You.
sorry, I'm just busy battling trying to connect the tournament code, right? The tournament bracket. So
Okay. Okay, no, cool. We're gonna let you guys get back to your team, and then we're gonna have a little chat with the chat, about the Group A. Good luck to both of you in this game, and we wish you the best of luck and the best of RNG.
Thank you very
Awesome.
much. Good luck.
Thanks.
Good luck.
Cheers, guys. Bye.
Cheers. Okay. It's just me and you, Alex, again.
uh,
Did you get the tournament page? Or must I send it?
eventually, I don't know if my I'm just a bit worried that my internet might die. But yeah, first night using new internet, so I'm not entirely sure how well it's going to work.
Okay, I just want to take a second to take stock of what's going on in the chat. Everyone's saying how Killcord is in the chat as well. He plays jungle, I'm pretty sure, for Troepe. Yes, he does. I see it on screen. I want to start. We all do. Alvin, Alvin. Same can't wait. Yeah. Nicholas, I think he's the bot laner. Put 8 people in bot lane if they can use secret weapon. Karma and Zyra. Okay. They're mostly talking amongst themselves. But I just want to take stock of no, this is official stream. I don't dab on yet. But this I just want to take stock of what's going on in Group A, right? So this is what these teams they both in here. Like down south, DSG said, the owner said, Yuvandre, that they're 2-0 right now in matches, but 4-0 in wins. And they've played Order of the Phoenix, or Order of the Shadows, Synergy, and OG Ostrich, beating both of them pretty comfortably. Some of the games that I watched were pretty close as well. And Trooper played twice, won one game, and then drew another game against XYZ Reflect, a team that we also hyped up very much in the before the tournament started. They have the likes of Dash and Jacking Pete, so they're coming in very strong. I don't know. What do you feel about that?
No, that's exactly the thing that I wanted to point out. I was like, although Trooper might be coming into this being one win and one draw in, they did just play against our dark horse of the group, and I do think that XYZ Reflect are a good team, and I do think you can't discredit them for drawing against that team. Obviously, we didn't get to watch those games. I don't know if you did. I didn't.
No.
But I really do think that that is still a good result because I still said that, like, at the end of the day, I wouldn't be surprised if XYZ draw to Era Millennium. So now the question is, are Trooper as good as Era Millennium? Are they as good as XYZ? They did just match up with them, so clearly they must be on the same level. So now, obviously the biggest issue we have right now is Era Millennium's only played one game, so it's really hard to stat check everybody right now. But it must be said that DSG is still undefeated. So at the end of the day, you know, they're on a roll, but they have played and taken their wins against sort of two of the teams that are lower down on our rankings. So it's really hard to say that we can be like, yes, they're definitely going to come out and stomp, you know. But
Yeah.
I think it's going to be an incredibly competitive game.
Yeah, and just like we mentioned beforehand, this is a team that ended 6th and 7th, so in Prem. So the previous time they met, it was a close 2-1 series. By the way, Paul Grobler, no, we are not streaming on Twitch as well. Sorry, brothers, only on here. But it was a very close game. Now, like you mentioned, Era Millennium only played one game, won one game, right? ATK played one, won one, and those are the people we expected in number 1 and 2. But now we see the problem that we had previously was, okay, the teams that we thought will fall 3-5, the Trooper, the XYZ Reflect, and DSG. Now one has already drawn with each other, so potentially we're going to have tiebreakers there, and this is the other game. So this is where DSG can be like, okay, cool. If they beat Trooper, they can feel cool. We can easily take maybe third in this group, which sets them off pretty easily for like the next round.
I mean, even if they win, they could potentially take second in this group at the end of the day. Like, with the right attitude, I mean, a draw is a draw. A draw is not a loss at the end of the day. So at least you still won one. You obviously lost 1 point or 2 points. I don't know how many points you lose. I think you get 4 points for the wins.
If you win, you get 2 points. If you draw, you get 1.
Yeah. So you're only losing out on 1 point, and potentially if you can take a game off of everybody, do you know what I mean? At the minimum, or at least a game off the top 3 teams, then we got a lot of tiebreakers on our hands at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, definitely. And We see it in the CS:GO side. There's tiebreakers going on there. I don't know how they're going to handle it exactly, but it will be very interesting. Like we mentioned in the just chatting, 3-5 is very very close to each other, and we have that dark horse in XYZ Reflect, a team that technically was in first division, but with the names that they have Peter, they have Dash, they have Dark Child, as I call him now. I asked him, it's not Dark Side anymore, guys. It's Dark Child. So I'm very yeah. I just want to actually jump into game and get ready to see this. I expect heavy bot prio from Troepe, and I expect Fino to just try and get in something scaling and try and like do his part and be a late game threat.
Look, I agree with you. I think I'm gonna finish up with my last comment. But look, at the end of the day, Trooper have openly said what their what one of their biggest win conditions are, and so everybody seems to have the same opinion that their bot lane is the best lane to play through. So, I'm expecting to see a lot of action in the bot lane. I'm expecting to see a lot of junglers heading towards the bot lane. I'm expecting to see like top lane is just gonna be an island in this game, in my
Yeah,
opinion. But I mean, let's see what happens in the game.
yeah.
We're just gonna take a step back, I think. Sorry, do you want to say
Yeah.
something? Anthony?
No, go
Okay,
ahead.
cool. We're just gonna take a step back for a bit. I don't know if Carl's gonna put some music on you, on you. We're gonna put some music on
On
for
you,
you,
put it
and
on
then
top of you.
we will
Yeah.
be right back with the game. It's way less professional.
Yeah, I agree completely. I think people are just used.
Okay. Hello and welcome everybody. If you're just joining us, we are just quickly hopping into the pick and ban between Trooper and DSG. We will see Trooper being on the blue side and DSG on the red side. Quick bans coming through. We have Olaf and Wukong being taken off straight away.
Yeah. I mean, that Olaf is very much aimed at Fino. Fino being a very, very competent Olaf player, and it's something that a lot of people just take away from him. Even though I don't think he has played it that much recently, he is very, very strong in that champion.
Yeah, and I like seeing the Morgana ban coming out here because we do know Morgana Ash being a very oppressive lane, allowing sort of and potentially a weaker bot lane, let's say, would be able to potentially just shove you into tower and kind of shut down your potential to sort of outplay and squish you under the tower the entire game. So I think that's a very, very important ban early in
Yeah.
this game, especially if you have such a dominant bot lane like Trooper apparently do.
Yeah. Such free much well is his name. I got his name wrong a couple of times. And a volley ban that can be aimed at Pentademon and at Fino. You're trying to take as much weapons away. I'm surprised with Drupa not taking away like Caitlyn or Ash and then picking the other one, seeing as they want to play a bot side heavy um, type comp. And instead we see Ezreal ban. Maybe it's flashbacks because of that 21 for 3 game that such free much well has. So that's very interesting. First big set, pretty standard. It can be flexed to 4 lanes. So, you know, that is a good pick in my opinion. What do you think, Alex?
I mean, potentially what we could be seeing here is both teams just rather not picking to ban one of those overpowered picks away. Just
And
because
just
if you are
splitting
on,
them.
yeah, just because if you are on red side, you don't really want to ban one of them. and
Yeah.
then end up not being able to pick one. So blue side's sort of flexing that they don't mind which one you pick, and I think that's quite a confident statement to put out. But in
Hmm.
the end, opting to pick the set first as opposed to the Caitlyn, I think that's a very sort of coin flippy decision, just because I haven't really seen any amazing set players in South Africa just yet.
Yeah, I think set is. I don't know how comfortable Troepe are on it, but I know that Pentademon is a very, very competent set player. So they pick it for themselves. Maybe they've practiced it a bit, and it's a takeaway from DSG, which in a lot of times that is what you have to first pick. If you're first picking something, you want to take something away that's high priority, and also picking something that will obviously benefit you and could go everywhere.
So
So yeah.
I find this really, really interesting. So we do see Bard
Ooh.
being picked up on DSG sides. Now I feel like Caitlyn Bard is a really oppressive lane as it is. Jarvan finally being locked in. But the one thing I would like to point out is Caitlyn Bard is an incredibly oppressive lane. And Tripper have opted to pick Twitch, who is a notoriously weak laner,
Yeah.
and Thresh into this sort of composition. And even though there does seem to be this whole concept that there is a big gap in skill level in the bot lane, I do feel like Twitch is one of those champions that is very easy to shut down. And I
Yeah.
don't want to end up with another situation where we're watching a game like the one we previously casted, where teams kind of handicap themselves by the way they pick. And I do think this is a very brave pick. And just because I see that, I do expect to see a lot of attention going bot lane.
Yeah, definitely. I do not like Twitch picked on B3 at all. That's blue, third pick on blue. For those of you who don't know, there's so many like Ash is still available. Now we know that such free much well, like the Snake said in the pre-game interview, that they want an oppressive lane where they can win. But you're not picking a winning lane right now. You're picking Thresh, yes, which allows you to play aggressive. But if you want to play aggressive, why not pick Lucian? Why not pick something like that? We can actually fight in bot lane. Is that if that's what you're playing towards? And yeah, I'm not very sure about this. Maybe they have some kind of plan to pick something else. I don't know, to maybe enable the Twitch. But you've already locked in Thresh. There's no like Lulu pick there or Yumi, which can make Twitch very oppressive. And right now, yeah, this draft is coming up all DSG in my opinion. I don't know what you're thinking.
Look, I do think Twitch is a weak laner, but I have seen many a game back in the day with people like Yar and people like Banza literally 1v5ing on Twitch late game.
That is true.
Twitch it does sort of have the same sort of principles as COG, where if he does get a good ambush off and he does have enough CS to his name, he is going to assassinate your squishies. He is going to do a lot of damage. And I feel like with the Scion and the Oriana now, we do have a little bit more sort of protection coming through from the for the
Ooh,
Twitch.
Fizz.
Ooh,
Okay, spicy. Okay, spicy there from Fearbender. Fearbender, like I mentioned in the pre-game cast, very competent on stuff like Azir and Rise. And I know he's been playing a bit of Fizz. This is very interesting. I don't see how he's either gonna pop off or get popped. You know, this this is gonna be, yeah, they're not in order.
yeah, I'm
um,
very confused. I was like,
I don't think all of them have all the champs. So yeah, that might be the thing. But the thing is, I really like Trooper's draft. It's simple to play, and it has a lot of ways to pull the trigger and go in. But the switch feels out of place, especially when your AD carry is like you have a very competent AD carry. Yes, fair. If you fall behind in your Twitch, you stall for your Twitch, and he can just put the team on his back. You have that late game insurance. But I'm thinking if you have an Ash there, you have something like that there, this comp all around seems even stronger, in my opinion. But the rest of the pieces look very strong. Illusion would have even been nice. That can get away from Jarvan and the likes of Fizz. But if he's very good on Twitch, he can make this work. Definitely.
I do feel like Trooper definitely their comp definitely has more of an identity at the end of the day. Like,
Yeah.
depending on what build set tends to go, I don't know if he's really going to go sort of that more tanky build and rely on just the Orion and the Twitch to do the damage. I feel like that's more sort of the option of picking this like CC heavy beefy front line that can just sort of protect your Ori and your Twitch. And I mean even your Ori can protect your Twitch at the end of the day. And looking at DSG, they have a comp that like it's kind of good at a lot of things, but it's not really amazing at anything. I mean, at the end of the day, you could potentially say you've got the Twitch and the Jarvan and the Bard, so you could kind of you could throw the Tempered Fate and sort of like pile in with the Cataclysm and try and see if the the Fizz can assassinate someone. But Fizz running at this team, unless Fizz is getting a really good flank in, I don't see Fizz being particularly good. Yes, it's a very dominant, like lane dominant sort of pick, but I feel like provided Orianna just sort of has decent enough wave control and wave management, she can have more influence on the map than the Fizz actually can. Because it's very easy on Orianna, depending on what summoner skills you pick, to sort of like soften out the lane, especially on masteries. If you are going to go stopwatch early in your masteries, then you can sort of bait out that first, or survive out that first all in from Fizz. And if Fizz doesn't get the all ins from you, unless he's a very proficient Fizz and can handle farming through the Orianna harassment, then he is going to struggle a little bit in the lane, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, 100%, I agree. And the thing is, when you look at Trooper's team fight, or like just their team, it's like you said, it's straightforward, right? You can like just run at them, or if they engage on you, Orianna bull on set alter the Jarvan back into their team, and you got a nice little combo there with Shockwave plus the whatever set. I think it's Showstopper or something, but whatever. Yeah. So it's very straightforward. They have very clear fighting lines. They don't need to do anything fancy to make their comp work. That being said, they have a losing bot lane and a losing top lane, right? Okay, Sang probably goes a little bit even, but it's going to depend a lot on who does what. And then you have Sets, who he doesn't have very clear places to gank. All of the lanes look kind of tough to gank, and Jarvan literally can just run in and wreak havoc on a lot of these comps. So it's going to heavily rely on Fino being active and proactive in the early game. And if he is proactive in the early game, then he can literally take over this whole game. And if he can get the Urgot ahead, he can get that bot lane ahead to punish that Twitch and that pick, then we can look at a completely different game. Because it doesn't matter how easy your team fight is to execute if you are super far behind. You know?
Yeah, I do think that um
Oh,
DSG need to be very, very careful at the end of the day here, because they are picking a bot lane that I'm gonna expect to see just permanently pushing in. So they really do need to be careful. Jan, I'm just gonna stop at 10 seconds again,
okay.
as I did
Yeah,
last time.
I'm also gonna stop at 10 second.
Cool. Wait, somehow I always manage to get this wrong.
Okay, I'm paused at 10.
Okay, cool. There's 10
Okay.
seconds there. Awesome. Okay, cool. Yeah, I was gonna say they do need to be careful of just sort of pushing that lane in too much, and then it is a really easy gank for the sets. At the
Yeah.
end of the day, yo, I really need to get something to blow my nose.
Okay. Is Carl ready? Are we gonna play? Carl, let us know when you're ready so Alex can just count us in.
Okay, cool.
I'm ready. Okay, cool. Alex,
Okay,
count us
cool. Okay, on go, guys. On go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Cool. Okay, so let me just reorder my scoreboard since they don't have all the champs. Okay. There we go. Yeah, so to me, the matchup to watch, okay, first of all, if Fizz gets ahead, this game can be very tough. I feel like they kind of drafted themselves into a corner a bit, but DSG does have a winning bot matchup. Mid, I mean, he does have the stopwatch. He should be okay. It can be annoying, but I don't think he just gets beat on. I don't know. What do you think? Does you've played Ori mid a lot? Does he just get beat on by the Fizz or not really?
So I think it's very interesting that the Ori is opting to go for TP in this lane. Yes, she will have an ability to sort of farm out the lane and kind of return and have more of that wave management and sort of that presence on the map that she probably needs. But it's also a very kind of high risk thing to go. I expected to potentially see even the exhaust or barrier coming out. Exhaust very, very useful against Fizz, especially with the stopwatch.
Yeah.
Especially if you can sort of buffer your ulti, because you know the Fizz is going to basically jump on you. So able to E yourself as Orianna and use the massive shockwave sort of thing, sort of as the Fizz lands, you can definitely turn that fight around.
Yeah.
very quickly. So
You know, yeah, like you mentioned, that is a good point. Exhausting this matchup would actually be very good, and it would hinder DSG a lot later as well. But we do see Fearbender opting for the Ignite in mid lane, so he will once that it's level 6 have the kill pressure, he just decides to go in already this early. Ooh, okay, takes a little bit of trade back.
that's very risky sort of trading with Fizz that early in. I mean, with Fizz that early in the lane, especially against Orianna, because she can just. Oh, she's not playing with Phase Rush. Okay, that's interesting. She's opted for the
Yeah,
Comet.
Comet.
Actually. I think that's a little bit of a mistake in my honest opinion. I think Phase Rush makes it much easier to sort of, if Fizz does go on you, the sort of the normal trade with Fizz is he will Playful Trickster onto you, and then he'll give you one or two autos, and then he'll use his Urchin Strike to get away. Whereas he won't actually be able to get as far away from you if you have the Phase Rush. You will be able to carry on chasing him down in the lane and just keep autoing him. So I do think that might be a bit of a mistake, but Fizz is taking a lot of damage at the moment in this lane.
Okay, Pentademon going in on Papa Smurfy top lane. He's a level ahead. Ooh, that's a very favorable trade for Pentademon. But Papa Smurfy does have that's a huge wave. I don't think he wants to lose that. A lot of huge waves everywhere. Trading in mid lane. Just big waves. People are just trying to slow push waves or something. Slow push and crash waves. Try some cheater recall.
Yeah, I definitely think the Fizz needs to be careful of giving Orianna sort of the opportunity to freeze the lane. Or at least rather Fino needs to make sure that Orianna doesn't have the ability to freeze the lane. We do see Fearbender going very aggressive. He has managed to use up all of his mana already.
Yeah,
and he didn't
other lane
start
starts.
corrupting pot or anything, so he is going to have to go back pretty soon.
Is a gank in mid coming in?
Oh, Ian Fino coming in, flash, forced from the Orianna. Meanwhile, Killhorde is here. Does manage to get
Fearbender
onto
does have mana.
Fearbender.
Ooh. Yeah, if
Death
I mean
Sentence
if
landing onto the guard, we do see play does come through. Ooh, I don't know.
It's a lot of fighting.
A little bit of a disconnect there, I think, between the bot lane of Troepe. Meanwhile, Ian Fino is here. He's going to see if he can potentially blow another flash.
good
Brilliant
play.
coming through. Flash coming up from the bot.
a lot of flashes.
So many flashes. Ian Fino flashing away from the tower. I think he was scared of the death sentence there, but
Yeah.
not off cooldown just yet.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the hook came out, the death sentence did come out, but it I don't think it would have connected. But he didn't want to take the chance. You know, you don't want to give up first blood on a gank this early, so you know, kind of get that. And we're gonna see hopefully stuff calm down a bit, but Fino's still here. They might just look for the dive here.
Oh, that's a lot of damage coming out there. Do you need to be careful? The
Trap.
heal is still up. Oh, the death sentence lands onto Ian Fino. They're trying to turn around.
Next kick.
Nick is just totally inting into the tower. Meanwhile, Leaping Wombat also going to take a couple times.
Oh.
TP is coming
Orianna
up.
steeping.
Orianna. She doesn't have flash. Is she going to be able to chase it down? We do see Ian Fino trying to turn it back around onto the snack. He does get the flare off. The command protect does come out.
Set!
And this is just absolute
Set's
madness.
coming as well.
Let's see if we can get in. Set flashing in. Does get the chilling smite on Leaping Wombat. That's going to be a kill going over.
Oh my word!
Kill cord. And Fino going to get taken out by the haymaker.
Orianna dies.
Orianna dies to the tower. Whew.
What the? No, she died to the minions.
No, didn't she get hit by a turret shot?
No, that's the wrong team.
Oh, goodness.
She got hit by like 6 casters. Holy! And just complete pandemonium in bot lane, and the top laners probably don't even know what's going on. They're like, hello? What just happened bot lane? The whole damn party. Jeez, that's crazy. And no one probably has summons, nothing.
And the
Crazy.
The only difference there is in that whole entire exchange is literally the 100 gold from the first blood.
Yeah, literally nothing changed. I mean, yeah, everyone's even on CS. You know, all we see is a lot of summoners blown, and you know, that's about it. A lot of summoners blown and some kills here and there. But let's take some stock, okay? Set picking up 2 kills there, and Fino picking up 2. You know, the only difference is, okay, DSG a little bit better off. They got a kill onto their Caitlyn, which allowed her to get a BF, sorry. And then Twitch not getting a kill, him sitting on the pickaxe. So, you know, I think DSG a little bit better, you know, after that. But not by a lot.
I think one of the things that's really important to think about is the fact that Fizz did manage to just sit in the lane and soak up a whole bunch of XP, and that has actually caused him to hit 6 way before Orianna. So I am expecting, with his flash being up and him knowing that Orianna doesn't have flash,
And ignite.
for him to look for an all-in here. And he really does need to look for that all-in here. Oh, we do see Ori hitting 6 now, but I do feel like...
Yeah, and here we go.
Here it comes. Oh, and the Shark does come out. He's looking for the trade. He's not going to use the ignite from that. Just a bit of pressure in the lane.
Yeah, and I mean, this puts him in a kill. You know, Lee Slinger, Orianna is in kill range.
Yeah, the Orianna is in kill range now, and I'm looking. We do see Pentademon slowly. Oh, he's just walking down to river to ward. Sorry.
Nice little deep ward. That's good. He's been learning. I don't like that ward where it is. I've told him that a million times. A gank in bot lane.
All the death sentence with the land, Leaping Wombat doesn't get hit, but he does get pulled in by Killjoy.
Oh!
That's tons of damage, and he's going to destroy Leaping Wombat, but they are going to try to get killed.
Nick!
Nick is just on fire today. There's another TP.
And a TP, what is going on?
Pentademon looking to see if he can avenge his bot laner. Sion as well goes on to Nick. He does manage to get the 1 kill. Fino looking to see if he can potentially turn this around, but the Twitch is still alive. Meanwhile, Pentademon does get...
Ben's getting
Oh,
on.
dude, it's crazy. It's going on.
Just fights everywhere.
That name is so long.
Yeah.
Such Free does end up surviving in the end. And
Such Free much more.
just letting his AD carry soak up as much CS as possible.
Yeah, and it has to be said, imagine this Fizz. He had he could probably have walked down, right? But imagine he had something like a TP, and he just shows up bot lane too. You know, okay, we see a lot of just TPing bot lane, a lot of people just going crazy, be like, yes, we're gonna fight bot lane the whole damn day, right? And this time the top lane saying, listen, put me in, coach, I'm ready to fight. And they also win bot lane. So when we mentioned before the game that there's gonna be a lot of fighting around bot lane, I think we were kind of right.
Yo, we do see Killcord getting spotted out here on the dragon. Nothing the Nick can do at the end of the day. And that's a free Drake from all this pressure. Meanwhile, Lee Slinger getting ulti. A little bit of mistiming there from their gank, but it's another flash gone.
Yeah. And I mean, now if you're Fino, it has to be said, okay, cool. As soon as we have ult up again, a little wet noodle fight and something, as soon as we have ult up again, we need to hit that mid lane. Because if Orianna doesn't have flash there, she should be dead.
No, we do see Killcord actually getting his scuffle there. But yeah, dude, it's really interesting. Papa Smurf is still losing out this lane, even though he did get the double buffs.
Oh, fight in mid lane. Nice little roam from Nick.
Brilliant. Tempered Fate. We're not allowed to see that. Oh, we do see Fabian Death landing onto Papa Smurfy. He's gonna try to turn it around onto Pentademon, and Pentademon's looking really low. Red buff is ticking, forced to flash away.
Yeah, and Fino just walking around, he finds kill cord.
Yeah, kill cord.
The set might die.
The set might die, but we do see the Fizz coming in, and he is gonna get killed.
Okay, this is, I mean, okay, bad fights in top lane from Pentademon. You know, he's 20 CS behind and a kill. Doesn't have really any completed item. Takes a little bit of too much damage. But then you see Fino, brilliant read, saying, okay, cool, his blue buff should be up now. Let's go see if we can catch him. Fear Bender tagging along. And now you have a Fizz that's up 2 waves and a bit, 2.5, with 2 kills, and he completed his Hex GLP. So he's going to be scary. Ooh, trade of flashes in bot lane. But yeah, if this Fizz, they start getting mid prio, and him and Fino walk around together, they can start causing havoc in this bot lane. They can easily 4-man dive this lane, especially with stuff that can drop aggro as easily as Fizz can. No, they're just going to repeat mid.
Down again, and I think this is going
oh, that's dead.
Does come out.
Ooh.
Shockwave does come out. Zonyas is there. Killcord doesn't have his ulti, but a brilliant face breaker gonna save them. Fino forced to flash away. Killcord gonna chase after him.
Holy.
Hit the haymaker.
Killcord doing so well.
Oh, Fizz looking to see if he can get away. We're not allowed to watch that. Death Sentence
Oh,
landing
Death
on
Sentence hit.
and the Rat-a-tat comes out. Nick flashing in.
Nick, get him.
They're trying to turn on Leaping Wombat. Leaping Wombat taken so low.
Oh.
Both of them flashing, but Caitlyn does end up dying in the end. Fino did die in that exchange. I think I did.
Yeah, Fino did die mid here. To Killcord. And Killcord, you know, sitting completed a jungle item, the same as Fino. But he's doing work. He's like, he realized, okay, cool. They're probably gonna go mid to punish my flashless mid laner, right? I just need to be around. They all out engage on Orianna. Orianna's like, haha, joke's on you, I got stopwatch. Stopwatches gives Killcord enough time to come and, you know, crack some skulls.
Yeah, and I know I said this in a previous stream, but the one thing I can't help but stress is the fact that Caitlyn is one of the best champions in the game at the moment. The
Yes.
only problem with Caitlyn is if she doesn't, we do see Lee Slinger getting
Oh.
taken very low, is deciding to opt out. Ooh, here comes the Siren.
Stuff is gonna happen in mid lane.
Are they going to catch him though? I think he's just going to.
No. Yeah, he just decided against it.
But like I said, if Caitlyn doesn't get a good early game, I do not believe she is a good mid-game champion. Like late
Definitely.
game, I can agree. Whereas Twitch never really gets a good early game, and if he does, he's really.
Then he's a problem. Yeah. No, 100%. I mean, Caitlyn is supposed to be something that dominates lane. That's why we credited DSG with their draft, they have the winning draft. But Troepe, they heavily investing in their bot lane. Ooh, okay, gank, bot lane, and yeah, nothing's just gonna come from that. But you see Troepe heavily investing in their bot lane, as well as DSG. They're both playing heavily around it. But it just seems like they can't punish the Switch. The Switch has only died once. He's sitting on 150 gold bounty. And if you look at the farming numbers, you wouldn't really say that Twitch has been getting ganked. Oh, okay.
Again, he's looking to see if he can get the trade-off, but
Okay.
has arrived, and it looks like his Haymaker's going to come. They are going to manage to kill this job, and Killcord just gets finished off by
Homing
that
big
shot in the end.
whistle.
Ooh, Shockwave comes down onto the Fizz and
Oh,
grabs the
good cue.
amazing binding.
The snake going through? Ooh, okay. And the top lane is still just chilling here. Don't even know what's going on with the rest of them now. We do see a sizable lead for Papa Smurfy in top lane. Sitting on a nice little CS lead there of 20 odd CS. And everywhere else it looks kinda even, you know. You would expect DSG's bot lane to be ahead, seeing as they have a superior bot lane. But we just don't see that. Lee Singer just taking a lot of damage.
I thought he was,
For no reason.
I was so ready to call that death.
Yeah.
He's trying to get the turret plates, but now he's going to lose his lane. Oh, I suppose he was potentially looking to see if he could TP, but he's going to TP back to lane either way. But I do think that was a mistake because he's not sitting
Yeah.
too much gold.
Okay, now we do see the dragon is up. It's an ocean drake. So I'm expecting to see some form of fight around this. You know, Troepe are very strong right now, so okay, might just be the steal attempt. Oh, he doesn't get it, and now he's trapped.
He doesn't have a way out though, so he's
Yeah.
going to die for that. Look, that was the only real option in my opinion that they had at,
Yeah.
at that point. Just because, oh, we do see Sion looking to see
Ooh.
if he can potentially get in there.
Yeah, so they were a little late on the rotate. DSG correctly assesses, okay, cool, they're not here, they aren't in a position to test. Let's just take it. Killcord, you know, saying, okay, cool, I'll go for the miracle steal. And doesn't end up getting it and pays his life for it. And, you know, DSG definitely not out of this game. It's definitely harder in the position they are now. But they, you know, they can still get back into.
No, I definitely do think they can get back into it. I just do believe that Troepe do have a lot more options. Just because the Twitch is sort of that sort of ambush style of play. He isn't forced to kind of play this conventional style where he has to sit behind the frontliners, if that makes sense. So Twitch does have the option to kind of go invisible and go find the Caitlyn and find the bot and see if he can just assassinate them before the team fight even really begins.
No, definitely. And even though you see there is like a 400 gold lead for DSG, they are actually behind right now. And anyone who watches Alex or someone like that would know that your comp meaning what you are currently behind. They have a Twitch who is strong. Oh, okay. Leaping Wombat gets hooked.
Landing onto Leaping Wombat. The play will come out. Ratatat has been up. They are going to use the redemption. He is going to use the heal as well. They listen to see another
TP from Urgot.
They are going to use the ace in the hole. Doesn't manage to kill the Thresh. Tempered Fate also come out, forcing flash.
Can Penta Demon snipe him? Let's see. I guess not.
Misses as well. Whew.
Oh, okay. These
good.
teams not afraid to give up side waves or give up waves to go help. It's a good thing to see, but also a bad thing. You know, you would expect your jungler then to go just hold your lane if you're gonna go TP, but instead he just goes for the rift, which I think is not a bad play at all.
No, I don't think it's a bad thing. The Penta Demon being caught out.
Oh, flash.
Ooh, the face breaker doesn't land either. That's a bit unfortunate.
Fino is top. Okay, now he catches the wave. This is correct from DSG. We see the Caitlyn walking top as well. They're just gonna go for the lane swap, seeing as bot tower is out. And that was first Brig going over to DSG. So, you know, they are still in this game. They need to get rolling. We need to see this Fizz running around a bit more. Get mid prio, or actually not even get mid prio. Send your AD carry and support mid lane, and get this Fizz moving around on the map and punishing Troepe for being out of position.
I do think kind of all the things that have transpired in the last, like, I was going to say 15 minutes, but that's the whole game. The last, like, 5
Yeah.
minutes of the game. Caitlyn has managed to kind of get back into this, and she is sort
Definitely.
of almost dead even. I actually think she's ahead of Twitch and gold now. No, she is ahead of Twitch and gold by like 200 gold now. So
Yeah.
they have managed to sort of equalize this. I do feel like Twitch kind of has this odd sort of build. I know lots of people do opt. We do see the Ratatat looking to see if they can get Fino, but he's going to be able to walk away. I do sort of feel like this sort of build, I do understand, is the better scaling build.
Yeah.
But at this point, you have to ask yourself, is it worth waiting to scale for that long? We do see Unstoppable Onslaught coming out. Gonna see if they can get a hold of Leaping
Ooh,
Wombat.
That's a
Does
lot of
get
damage.
A huge amount of damage.
Holy.
Get assassinated.
Damn, and that.
Zion. No,
No, I looked at the items too. Once it happened, I'm like, what the hell happened there? And Leaping Wombat just bought another crit cloak.
dude, he's all in it. Oh, we do see. Oh, flashing away from the Tempered Fate might have actually saved him at the end of the day, and he's gonna go down. Cataclysm going down on to kill.
Okay,
Storm.
good response.
He's also gonna get picked up, and that's a
Yeah.
quick response coming through from DSG, and it's just.
And that was them saying, okay, cool, you kill one of ours, we kill two of yours. You know, you're not going to get away with just doing that. And they should pick up mid tower and, you know, get another charge off on Shelly in the tier 2. And, you know, a lot of stuff is happening right now. Kill cord being all over the map in the early gaming, doing so well, kind of falling off and kind of looking out of place in this mid game. Whereas Fino seems to be striving in this mid game.
Yo, you know, the one thing I find that I was going to talk about earlier that I just didn't get around to at the end of the day is the fact that, oh, they didn't see the red, okay, they saw the red, is the fact that, like, DSG in the previous fight where they lost the dragon couldn't, I mean, where, not where they got the dragon,
Yeah.
Kill Cord and all of them, they'd already used their ultis. Like, Troepe had
Yes.
already wasted their ultis in that one fight, and then they obviously knew that they couldn't fight for the dragon. And this is another case of they used all their ultis to get that Caitlyn kill, and then they overstay, and then they get punished for them. And it's a good punish coming through from DSG, and I think
100%.
DSG should be able to keep looking for those sort of moments, because troopers seem to keep making that same mistake. They will actually start the dragon.
Okay, this
Pull
is
it out
interesting.
too.
I
don't
mean,
think you really want to go
okay.
against Jarvan. Jarvan also takes a lot of free damage.
this is a weird fight. Okay, Sion ulting forward. Fino's in a strange spot.
They're looking to see if they can potentially land a wombo combo.
Oh, big face breaker.
Face breaker coming out. He's just going to get absolutely deleted though at the end of the day.
Shockwave hits
But
too.
the shockwave does manage to. Nick will go down. Twitch also does pick up the fizz in the end. Oh no, it wasn't actually. It was the Thresh. Leaping Wombat trying his best to
He's
damage.
cutting his life out. Bento in the back line.
They're going to turn it around straight.
Holy.
And that was an insane play from Ian Fino.
Well done.
Turn around completely, and dude, Ian Fino just going
Fino,
massive in
yeah.
that fight.
Fino and Penta diving that back line means that no damage hits Wombat. And, you know, you think that Jarvan and Urgot don't do that much damage because they're supposed to be tanks, and all of a sudden, they're just smashing your Orianna.
I mean,
Excuse me.
I'm looking at that Caitlyn
Yeah,
with the
double crit cloak.
insane amounts of crit damage, hitting like 4 crits in a row onto one of
Yeah.
onto the squishy Twitch, and he just got obliterated.
Yeah, new tech. The new tech guys, get on it. I.e. double crit cloak. Something I wanted to mention as well is just the lane assignment. Now, we see teams around the middle to the bottom of Brain not always picking the right lane assignments, and that's why earlier when Leaping Wombat got caught by the Scion, they were caught in transition because they needed to come and defend mid, right? So what you want to do, if you see stuff if you break laning phase a little late, you want to send your bot lane to mid lane so that they can't just walk down mid and take your tower. And we saw Troepe just walk down mid and forced a bad rotate out of Leaping Wombat, and that's when he got caught. Now we do see them grouping up here top. I don't think they kill the Scion unless he's in a super long lane and they can hit him with like 5 like rotations of spells.
Papa Smurfy is
Huge. He is very huge.
75 CS. And he's just slowly stacking up. Almost finished that Titanic Hydra. He is quite a big boy at the moment. Ooh.
Okay.
Sneaky
And
sneaky
oh.
Oh.
Okay.
I feel like I wish I was one of those Korean casters right now. Like hyping the Twitch ambush up so much.
I'm very hyped already. I'm gonna be yelling once it happens. But you know, the longer this goes right now, okay, cool. DSG in the driving seat, but such free much well, getting very strong. That mirror mana almost, or that mana immune almost transformed into a mirror mana, and then he's gonna start hitting even harder. So, you know, okay, cool. We see good lane assignments now. I like this. You put your Fizz in the side lane. That is the right read, to put him in the side lane and your top lane in the side lane, and have your mid or your bot lane in the mid lane. So that just stabilizes a lot of it.
I do feel like DSG, Papa Smurfy walking into a trap. Ian Fino looking to see if he can get the flag and drag
another trap. Double trap.
Double trap. They're going to try to turn it around. Papa Smurfy getting taken really low.
Okay.
He's going to eventually fall. The TP comes up from Pentademon. Don't know whether Fear Beyond Death did land.
He's in this backline by himself.
3. The showstopper
2
does
ults.
Shockwave coming out on 1 target. The fish does come out from the fish. Ian Fino popping the stopwatch. Twitch looking at
the Twitch.
Does pick up 1.
The rot. Can he get more?
We really need
Okay.
a tat in one of these fights. Come on.
100%. I'm waiting for it. Oh, a double pink ward.
It's called the spray. It's called spray and pray now, isn't it? I think it.
Yeah. It changed their name a while ago.
Yeah, I'm that old.
Yes, you are. But it just looks like Troepe is just using so much on Penta when he jumps in that backline. I mean, we saw them use Showstopper on him, the Showstopper, and they used the what's it, Shockwave on him. Oh.
Look, I totally agree with you. The one thing I keep seeing repetitively in these fights is that we do see another fight breaking out. Papa Smurfy gets onto Pentademon and
Oh!
He does
The Twitch?
over Twitch, forced to flash away, but
The
gets
fear.
Fear Beyond Death, and that's going to cause the Snake to die as well. And this might be turned into a Baron. Papa Smurfy seeing what he can do.
Yeah.
Can he get Pentademon? Gets flipped over once again.
Here comes Orianna.
Because a brilliant flash coming out of Leaping
Holy.
Wombat. He's going to get another kill. That's a triple going over to Tempered Fate to stop Papa Smurfy, and that should be the Baron potentially. Can they stop Killcourt from getting in here?
I mean, that's not just Baron. Fearbender is still pushing bot lane. That was a 4v5. Now, okay, fair that Troepe kind of walked in weirdly. The Killcourt needs to be very careful here, because if they decide to turn on him, he will die.
This Caitlyn is massive. Showstopper coming in, does try to turn on a Leaping Wombat, but this is going to be a suicide mission. He's just going to go down, and that's going to be a free Baron going over to DSG. And I hate to say it, but this game looks very one-sided at the moment. It was close, but right now, Leaping Wombat just absolutely destroying this game.
100%, and he's doing very well. I mean, you know, it feels like Troepe just lost their whole identity come mid-game. You know, all of a sudden, they were just out-rotated. They didn't know where to be on the map. Every time they started a fight, they came in drips and drabs. We see DSG as a 5-man or as a 4-man stack, and then kind of Troepe just running in one at a time. And, you know, we saw Orianna get caught at the top side, Twitch getting caught randomly, you know, and now you don't have any damage left. So very well done from
The
DSG so
thing
far.
is that I really want to point out is every single one of these fights we've had so far, barring outside of laning phase, have all been chosen by
Yeah.
Troepe. They're looking to make the plays, but they're not utilizing their tools correctly.
Oh, the rat!
Oh, the rat's looking at
The
the
rat!
He doesn't manage the slow. The Caitlyn's
Yeah,
coming.
the Caitlyn is scary right now.
She's lucky that wasn't a crit. Eh? She's got
Yeah.
lots of crit, and that wasn't a crit.
I don't really like this build from Leaping Wombat, but you know, it's okay. Usually what you want to go on Caitlyn is you want to go double AD items, just because you get so much benefit from it. Meaning you would go IE into what's that item? Stormraiser, or you actually start Stormraiser and then go into IE, but you build them depending on what back you get early, and you only go one attack speed item, that being rapid fire cannon. Him opting for the double attack speed. Ooh,
You know, going in.
that's
does
a
manage
dead
to-
Orianna.
This thing is varied. It does manage to land the shockwave, but
Only on one, yeah.
only on one, and that's just kind of a Hail Mary. I think this game is looking a little bit dire right now. I do understand what you're saying,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna do that thing that I always tend to do when I say I'm totally. Oh wait, unstoppable.
Oh.
Getting onto the Caitlyn, that's a huge amount of damage. She doesn't manage to survive. They're trying to turn
The
around.
Twitch.
The Twitch orb walking not going to be enough. Ian Fino getting taken.
Fino getting out. Hello.
And Fearbender also getting
Okay.
out. It feels so bad, but they did get the
They-
shot off.
They kind of salvaged that somehow.
Even needs to be
Getting
a
out.
little bit careful here. He's being a little bit. Dissonance does land. He does manage to flip on the Papa Smith jaw. That damage
He
coming out.
does not care.
Saying he just doesn't care.
Okay, he's very strong right now. And Fear Beyond Death is up.
Oh, Tempered Fate does land. Orianna is back. Can she do some damage to turn this around? Oh,
Is he gonna snipe? Oh no, he already
he
used.
already has.
Damon.
Unlucky didn't manage to
Yeah.
get it. Okay, now we can talk
Okay.
about this point. Every time I try to
Okay,
talk about someone, they
Why
die.
do you want to disagree with?
So the only reason I want to disagree with what you have
Yeah.
said is the fact
Yes.
that I do feel like the double AD item in every other situation is a good idea. But
Mhm.
right now, because of the way the game state is and the fact that all of these champions sort of need to get on the Caitlyn, I feel like having the extra range with the rapid fire cannon so that she
Yes.
doesn't have to get too close is
But
a
you always
great,
got that.
is a great idea. But also opting to go for the Phantom Dancer is a really good idea because the only thing that can really kill you at the moment is either Unstoppable Onslaught just one-shotting you, in which case you can get a shield that will save your life, or the Orianna Shockwave. You know, they're not really getting on her, so I feel like the only thing that's going to kill her is like when you get a sudden turn like that, and I feel like she did stay alive. I was ready to stop calling her being like alive halfway through that
She
fight.
did stay alive,
and
mate.
managed to
That's
do a
very
lot
long.
more
Oh,
damage. Oh, Fino
Is that
going
okay?
does manage to get away from the flay.
I get what you're saying. I still just think Stormraiser is better in that situation. Even though if you're in a position in this, like she was just now when she was walking up like that, if you're in a position to be hit by Unstoppable Onslaught in the mid lane like that, you're in the wrong position, right? Now I get, yes, you have stuff like for in case, but I think just the pure stats of Stormraiser and also what you can, the setup that it gives you, kill court getting caught.
Kill court again. Haymaker does come up, but kill court looks
Oh,
really dead
red.
right now.
Oh,
Great landing
what?
onto the Twitch, such free much wow. Doesn't look like he's gonna get it. Does flash away, turning it onto Ian Fino. Oh, that's so much damage coming to the
Okay.
Twitch at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. Leaping Wombat almost dying there. The PD saving him again. So clearly, you know, I feel like he was in the wrong position twice now. That's why it's been working. But it's working. So I can't really knock it. I still don't think it's better. And I don't think you'll be able to convince me that it's better.
I don't
Ooh.
necessarily think it's better. Pentademon does get caught up. They're gonna see if they can run him down. Oh, Death Sentence didn't come out there?
Okay.
Very surprised. But now
Yep.
I'm gonna point out one thing that I think is really bad. I think
What?
the fact that Twitch has opted for this build is terrible. You're playing against an Urgot that you know that is gonna go tanky. You're playing
Yeah.
against a Jarvan that's gonna build semi-tanky. You have 0 lifesteal. You
Yeah.
have like a Manamune or Miraman or whatever you want to call it now. It's
Miramana.
Yeah, Miraman now.
Yeah.
That kind of doesn't really offer you any defensive stats whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
It just only offers you pure damage. It didn't help you in the laning phase, really, where you could have opted to go like Bork and have a slow on top of getting lifesteal, on top of doing percentage damage. You know, it's just
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
it's very
And-
questionable.
Yeah, well, speaking to Kiddo recently on my stream, and we were debating this Bork build, but it was on Ash, not on Twitch, but I'm guessing it's kind of the same. Bork versus going Mirror Mana. Now, according to Kiddo, which is a challenger AD carry, he says the same thing, right? As you're saying right now. You're playing into tanks, pick Bork. Not only does Bork offer you some shred and stuff like that, it also offers you a lot of kiting. You know, that being able to steal movement speed and being able to move around and catch people. Ooh.
Do you see the dragon getting absolutely destroyed very quickly by a kill cord? They didn't man a 2-man pocket. A double onslaught does come out. But Fino is on the Twitch.
Leaping
Twitch
Wombat.
is going to get taken down.
Flash
Meanwhile,
forward.
Troepe in the backline, he's going to also get taken down. Leaping Wombat just assassinating that Twitch.
Yeah. He flashed forward being like, I'm a fight. I don't care what you're saying. And this is going to continue.
This is going to continue. This is going to be an easy triple kill for Leaping Wombat at the end of the day.
He's going to pick up all of them.
Double. They're looking to see. He needs to be a little bit respectful of the Orion, but Orion are actually low in mana. But meanwhile, they're just going to stop the backs. They're just going to.
Yeah, they can just walk. Yeah.
Can they end the game though? I think I'm a bit
They have
too
a
hard
wave.
for that, huh?
No, okay, 10 seconds now. I don't think they can
back
actually.
away. Look,
If
you go for
Caitlyn
Baron.
was there,
Look, you
maybe.
go for Baron. Look, you go for Baron? Baron? You gonna really try it?
Braun.
Oh, I think this is a bad decision.
They can all get caught. This Twitch can go huge now.
Pulling the
The rat. The rat.
The rat
No.
attack is coming.
Okay, weird interaction.
And I think kill cord.
Okay, they're out.
My mistake.
Okay.
Okay. I
Okay.
agree with you, and one thing I'd like to say as well, and that is you can even potentially make the argument for the Ashe because she has like super spammable abilities,
Yes.
you know, and she is a mana intensive sort of champion. Twitch is not.
Very true. Very true. But the thing is, they go Mirror Mana because it's just more AD, basically. And it's very cost effective.
Oh,
Okay,
Pentagon
they set up a
hit
trap
by
here.
Pentagon, but who is actually trapped here? I feel like they're walking into DSG.
Oh.
The snake's gonna get taken up.
Big
Shockwave onto
shockwave.
two. Haymaker's gonna land.
Just coming off all DSG.
Double kill in the end. Fino jumps in, locking up the Twitch. Leaping Wombat just
And Leaping Wombat completely alive. Oh my, what the rat?
Well, turning it around onto the Caitlyn needs to be careful. Doesn't walk onto a trap. Caitlyn's gonna turn it around. Oh my god, Caitlyn even gets the kill.
Can he pick up
and
Orion
Orion
as well?
is running for her life, but I don't think she's gonna get
Oh,
away.
the small.
There's comes out and she
Run! They're like, we hungry.
the Nick.
Who's gonna get it? No! Oh, they're trolling! No, they're trolling! He's got. Oh, the redemption snipe? Well done. Oh,
Game is so hard.
Tiltosaurus would be proud. They almost trolled that. I would be so tilted if that guy got away for the side of DSG. Oh, damn, that fight was actually kind of close, not gonna lie. It got me
Dude.
hyped.
Caitlyn did really well there. I'm
She's-
gonna say, like,
yeah.
turning around onto the Twitch was a great move in my opinion. I'm also really,
Yeah.
I'm really questioning these support items, right? I'm looking at these games and I'm like, your Twitch is like your number one in this
Yeah.
game, and you don't have a single item like.
Where's Knight's Vow? Yeah.
Oh, with the ons.
Ooh,
Simon.
okay. Papa
Fino-
Smurfy doing work.
Kilcord, gonna see if he can steal it. They're getting taken really low. Fearbend is also in this fight.
Fino
Huge
smiting.
fight, But Fino still gets the smite.
The
Twitch
international.
also comes in and he's gonna see if he can get one as well.
Leaping Wombat.
Walking into Leaping Wombat. Wow.
And he's just so strong
wow.
right now.
He's
12
so
for 6 for 16. Leaping Wombat just saying, listen, earlier in the leg search pretty much, wow, you know, he got 21 kills. My turn to show you that I'm the better AD carry. And he's doing extremely well this game. Struggles a bit in lane, but it looks like just the game about AD carries. Look at it, 10-6-6, 12-6-16. Like, it's a battle between the bot laners. And, you know, right now DSG is doing better. 10k gold lead, DSG, by the way.
But this Twitch is still in it at the moment,
Yeah.
in my opinion. And I must admit, DSG were in the driver's seat, but now in the last two objective fights, they gave away a free dragon.
Mm-hmm.
They forced a Baron that they should never have
Unnecessarily.
forced. And they're just
Yeah.
sort of, they're not technically throwing away their lead, but I feels like they're not kind of picking the decisive fights that they were picking before. Or rather, maybe Troepe are picking better fights now, because I did say earlier that Troepe actually weren't picking these amazing, they weren't
Yeah.
picking amazing fights.
The
Ooh,
snake.
the snake does spot them out. Death Sentence gonna land
Ooh.
straight onto Fino. Unstoppable on
Kill code coming from the side, yeah.
Get in. The Sion's getting taken very low. The Hex Flash, and he's gonna get.
No one's touching Leaping Wombat.
Leaping Wombat, free hitting. Ooh,
Good ult from Fino.
Well, trying to see if we can get it. He does have the GA on the Twitch. We do see Leaping Wombat picking up Papa Smurfy.
It's a weird fight.
Alive. Fino getting taken
Fino
very
dead.
low. Twitch is also free hitting right now. And
It's a battle of the 80 carries.
It is. But it must be said, where is this Fizz?
Where's the stick?
Leaping
Oh!
Wombat caught out again. He's getting
The
killed
rat.
instantly by the rat. Death sentence isn't timed right. They do flash.
Oh!
That kills the Twitch. Put
Trap the GA! Trap the GA! Oh, the ending!
Oh,
What?
Damn.
Okay. Holy! I didn't even see that. Holy! Did they just walk to end? Oh, they TP'd.
No, the Fizz couldn't TP. He walked.
Okay, well, Penta Demon TP'd. Okay, that was
I have a headache.
crazy.
I have a headache.
Oh.
Holy. We definitely need 5 minutes after that game.
Yeah, I mean, guys, we promised you good games, and if that ain't a good game, then I don't know what is. I'm super hyped. Yeah, let's all take I think 5 minutes just to catch our breath.
Just looking at the. I didn't fly. Oh, hi.
Okay.
Hello and
We're
welcome
back.
everybody. That was a very, very, very,
Yeah.
very intense game one. I almost choked on some water multiple times. But yeah, that was amazing.
That was crazy. And this is the type of games we are here to see. You know, close games, games that, go down to the wire. And there's not much closer than what just happened. And, I'm super hyped. That was amazing.
Yeah, man. Like honestly, Leaping Wombats, like, and such free, much wow, just like absolute
Yeah.
standout performances from both of them in those team fights. Like every single team fight was like insane. It was like on the edge of a knife every single fight. And I mean, it must be said, dude, Papa Smurfy, that
Big
style is
boy.
like an assassin, dude. Like,
Yeah. He definitely made it hard for them. I have to be said, but also Painter Demon in the backline doing a lot of work. Fino locking people up, but these fights were scrappy and they were confusing, and it was completely back and forth. At the end, you saw DSG have a 10k gold lead, but the fights were very close for a 10k gold lead. Such free much well doing work, doing the Lord's work. Just smashing and trying to keep everyone in it. It was very intense, and I wouldn't want it any other way.
yeah, man, I really loved that game. I have to admit, I feel like my MVP for that game has to go over to Ian Fino. Even though the 280
Yep.
carries did amazingly, Ian Fino turned around some of those fights, and it was just like some of those plays were just intense. He kept the tempo up in the whole game. But the one thing I would like to point out is I'd really like to see now is Troepe to come out and pick an easier to play comp because they weren't out of that game.
No, they
Even
weren't.
though they had so many things go wrong for them, they were never out of that game. And such free much wow, like in some of those fights, popped off. Like he popped off
Definitely.
massively. And he was just unlucky enough that half of his team were already dead.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, yeah, both AD carries were free hitting half of the fight, and when basically full item AD carries are free hitting, they're doing a lot of damage. So, you know, I think we kind of saw a tale of two teams, right? You saw Trooper being very proactive, doing a lot, especially Killcore doing a lot in the early game for me. He was playing very well, doing a lot. But once it hit mid game, it kind of seemed like they were a little lost. They had a good rotation into mid lane, which I liked, picked off the Caitlyn. But maybe it's just the experience of Fino coming through or what. But once it hit mid game, it felt like it was all DSG. And they kind of just started throwing weird fights. They were winning weird fights, and then they started throwing weird fights. And the Twitch came online and started doing a lot of damage and doing a lot of work. But at the end of the day, it came up DSG, in that last fight.
yeah, but I'm gonna have to cut us short. The players are
Mm.
ready to go into the next game, so we
Are
should be
you ready? Are
any
you
minute. I
ready?
was born ready, man.
Yeah, this is intense and I like
Games
it.
are intense, dude. Like I really enjoy these games. I think we have them in order this time.
Oh,
Woo!
no, we don't. No, we don't. You spoke too soon.
Oh,
The,
the neck messed it up, man.
yeah,
Okay.
it's the support. They only have support champion, or it's because he's the captain. Wukong ban from DSG, the same as the previous game. Banning that away from Papa Smooth, probably very comfortable. It's also a very good flex pick, Olaf pick, or ban, sorry. Same ban as the previous previous game. Shen ban. Okay, I'm expecting DSG to probably just ban kind of the same stuff. Oh, okay. There's the Jarvan ban. Respect to Fino. Okay, so exact same bans coming out from DSG. They're like, we won, so we're not going to change much. And then Caitlyn ban from the side of Troepe. So I'm expecting maybe an Ashe or a Set first pick. I wouldn't be surprised if I see a Set first pick, maybe even a Volibear. No. On first pick. Not a bad pick. Painter Demon, very comfortable on it. A champion that can engage from millions of miles away. So, he is very comfortable on it. And the team, I feel like they've played it a lot. So, yeah. Stock standard. Set again, probably for kill cord, can be played in top lane, support, and in mid lane. I don't know if they play it everywhere, but Set doing a lot of work, especially in the early game for Troepe the previous game.
I feel like Set had really good tempo. I feel like Killcord on Set
Yeah.
was everywhere he needed to be, but it also got to a point where he was sort of he was on a different wavelength to his team, and it just didn't really work out for them. And are they gonna
Run it
settle-
back.
Are they gonna run it back on
I-
Red Side this time? I hope not.
Yeah,
I really hope not.
I really hope we don't see the R3 Twitch. You know, Ash is still up. I'm expecting you know, the side of DSG, maybe just pick Ash here. There's also something like Zaya, which Leaping Wombat's comfortable on. Tristana is their Jin, you know. But yeah, I'm expecting just to see an Ash. Ash is just so strong right now. I'll be very surprised if we don't see it. There we go, Ash.
Phileas?
Aphelios probably so such free much well plays a lot of or does play Aphelios. No, I don't know if it's a lot. Hope please just don't pick Twitch, even though he did very well on it. It just gives you no prior. Lucian is also not a bad pick here, it has to be seen. Lucian Thresh can really do a lot of work into Ash pod if you play aggressive, but otherwise you're just gonna get poked out.
Sure, is it like season?
Vayne! Oh,
Oh yes, let's pick Vayne into Ash. This is going to be a fun game to cast.
for those of you who don't know, Ash hard counters Vayne. Vayne's biggest counter is hard CC, and you already see 3 pieces of hard CC on the side of DSG. So they're kind of greeding these picks, I feel like.
It could be said that Caitlyn is also a hard counter to Twitch. Which
Okay,
is
yeah, true.
in lane, technically speaking. So
Yes.
I mean, Caitlyn technically counters almost everything in lane.
That's accurate.
Yeah, I'm just like Vayne, another scaling AD carry. Look, it gives you more opportunity to sort of make plays. I think it is good into the Ornn. It'll definitely melt through the tanks much faster. Hopefully he'll build better than Rinking on this one.
And a lot of outplay potential as well with Vayne.
If I see another Mirror Mana AD carry that's not in Israel, I might I can see it on the Ash. We had this discussion already, but
Yes.
you know, like,
What are they pinching? They're probably just gonna ban another mid laner. For Lee Slinger. So we'll see now what they ban. I don't know. I don't like picking. If you're gonna pick something like Vayne or Twitch, you don't have to pick it on R3 or B3 like they did. Pick it late. You know, Volibear pick, very good pick up there. I mean, they're giving a lot of frontline to this Vayne, and very much it's looking like, okay, cool, Vayne is gonna be our win condition. And you know, they still can pick a Orianna again. It is up, and it's not bad with their comp. But I don't like picking Vayne that early. You could have easily just picked the Volibear there, or a Galio there, or something different. But you know, they're not really getting punished for it. Ooh, a spicy Hecarim there for Fino.
that's an interesting ban considering they banned it last game.
Yeah, I didn't know that Fino can play Hecarim. So that's very interesting.
I think
That-
Fino has a history of playing Hecarim back in the day.
Yeah, to be fair, he has been playing for a very, very long time. So he can pull out a lot of weird stuff that he has played in the past. And Ziggs, I like that pick a lot.
Well, these comps are actually looking really good.
Very
look,
much team fight heavy, hey?
I'm a huge fan of the combo between Ornn, Bard, and Ziggs. I think that's a really serious wombo that we have there. But I also will admit one thing. I'm also very partial to Trooper's comp. I think picking the Vayne early, I think picking the Vayne into the Caitlyn is obviously a little bit of a mistake in my opinion. It is going to be a hard lane, but if he does do what he did in the previous game and does manage to come out sort of even with the Ash, that could be really problematic
Yes.
for DSG. But at the same time, there's a very good chance that if Fino has the Hecarim and has the same sort of jungle pressure that he had in the previous game in the bot lane, in my opinion, it's much easier to have a lot more pressure and make this sort of a 3v2 lane.
Yeah.
In the bot lane, having the Hecarim just sort of run in 24/7 to try and kill the Vayne and get onto the Vayne and shut the Vayne down. I don't know how many times I'm going to say Vayne in one sentence.
One more
But-
time, just for good measure.
Like, it's still another coin flippy bot lane where I feel like if you had picked a safer AD carry, you'd have a better option. But I do feel like the Corki pickup does sort of cover up that
Yeah.
sort of problem, because now if Corki can farm like he did in the last game, he does also have his little Valkyrie to sort of get away from the ganks and the Tempered Fates from the Bard and can avoid some of those ganks. Corki does also create really nice zones on top of that, So
Yeah.
we can have a lot more to fight around this game than we did in the last game, and I definitely think this comp is much easier to pull off from Troepe than the previous one.
Yes, definitely. And Sachary much well has shown that he can get out of lane pretty easily with not losing too much. Now it has to be said, they did fight a lot in bot lane, a lot of TPs, a lot of like just roaming towards the bot lane in the previous game. So, it might just be, because of that. But if they put the same amount of effort into this Vayne as they did the previous game in Twitch, Vayne coming out of laning phase, you're gonna have the same thing as the Twitch, except Vayne has a lot of outplay potential. And we heard in the pre-game interview from Lesnick that Sachary much well likes playing the Vayne. He's like, put me on Vayne. Let me do that. Let me put the team on my back. And when it is a situation like it was that last team fight in the previous game, and it's the Caitlyn versus the Twitch, now it's an Ash versus the Vayne, and all he has to dodge is the Crystal Arrow. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
And then the Vayne probably just wins that fight. Vayne has some peel for herself, but then you also have to look at the amount of just CC. If Vayne gets hit by any of this, she's dead. So if she's not going cleanse, I'm expecting to see a QSS around your third item. Once you have your 2 core items, just get a QSS. You're gonna have to pay the tax. Otherwise, you're just gonna die the whole time with a Hecarim ult or some form of Ornn plus Hecarim plus Ziggs plus Ashe form of tomfoolery, and you're gonna sit in a very, very weird and not fun place.
Yeah, I feel like I think that the Thresh worked out quite well in the last game, but I
The
still
Snake
feel like
very good on it.
something should have been different. Like there wasn't the Morgana ban this game. I know they banned the Morgana last game, but I still think Morgana with Vayne makes it way easier over lane. You help the Vayne push out. You might take a bit
Yeah.
of poke early, but at the end of the day, like the one thing that I will like to focus on in this game is that Bard is actually very good into Vayne.
Yeah.
If you manage to tag the Vayne with a Q, it doesn't matter if she dashes, doesn't matter what happens, she still gets stunned if it connects with the minion afterwards. So at the end of the day, Bard is actually a very good pick into Vayne. He can also walk up and harass the Vayne on top of it with the Ashe. So
Yeah.
like at the end of the day, this lane is incredibly oppressive, and I think like although there's like a lot of hype about such free much wow, um, I think a lot of the last lane was actually Lesnick. Like he made a
Yeah.
lot of plays in the last lane that allowed and facilitated that Twitch to actually farm safely.
Definitely. And we saw a lot of death sentences hit from him in the previous game. He was making, Nick and Wombat's life a little hell in bot lane. Because he was hitting it consistently, right? He was doing a lot of stuff. So I'm expecting to see the same kind of performance coming from the Thresh. But I do agree with you. There are some better stuff. I would have expected maybe something like a Lulu would have been good. Stuff like that can do a lot. So yeah, we're gonna jump into game now. Let me just pause at 10 seconds. I'm at 10.
Well, I just think picking a melee support into double range is always
It's
it's
not
always
fun.
a risk.
Yeah,
And
100%.
especially if this player is your sort of like win. He's not your win condition, but if this player is sort of the player that you're really looking at to like be your late game insurance policy, I
Mm.
feel like it is a very risky thing to pick the Vayne. Look, Vayne has a lot of outplay potential. She does have the cleanse as well on
Mhm.
top of it. So I think that is a good thing. I would have liked to see the TP coming in from the Ashe this game,
Yeah,
but maybe doesn't particularly feel comfortable in the matchup doing that. I do like seeing Hecarim playing with the Ghost and not with the Ignite like we had seen in the previous game. I think
definitely.
that's really important in my opinion. You can kind of get that shock factor with the Hecarim coming into the lane.
Mm.
But yeah, I'm really interested. This top lane's going to be interesting for me. I don't exactly know how this matchup goes. I'm expecting Volley to kind of clap this matchup, but
Yeah,
you never count out Ornn.
definitely. Are you ready? Are you on 10
Oh yeah,
seconds?
sorry, I'm totally just, like, talking away. All right,
No worries.
I'm gonna count
Okay.
us down. So
Yes.
3, 2, 1, and go.
Yeah. So just going back to what you just said about that top lane matchup. Um, like you said, you can't ever count on Ornn out, like almost ever, right? So you need to respect him. If you are just going to stand around and trade with him, he can do a lot. That being said, Volley is very oppressive. If he gets ahead, this Ornn is not gonna have a fun time, especially if you see Kill Cord like gank it heavily and roam there heavily, or just pathing there regularly. You can see Ornn be in a very tough position. But I am expecting a lot of bot lane focus, like we did the previous game. You know, a lot of TP plays going bot. Fearbender this time on the TP as well. So, you know, he's going to be able to influence that. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. I feel like Troepe is going to invest a lot into trying to get this bot lane either ahead or just not have them.
Yeah, the one thing I'd also really like to focus on right now is the fact that in the previous game, I talked about how Trooper's comp was much harder to pull off.
Yeah.
And in this game, I'm going to say in order to play DSG's comp correctly, it's going to take a lot of coordination. But the fact of the matter is they have so many amazing tools. I mean, the sheer potential to combo those ultis, the Tempered Fate into the Ornn ulti, into the Onslaught of Shadows with the, I almost said super Mega Death Rocket or whatever, it's Mega Inferno Bomb.
Yeah.
Enchanted Crystal Arrow. We have so many massive ultis. I'm wondering why we're not playing Silas into this.
I was thinking the same thing, yeah.
But
yeah, it's also okay, cool. You have a lot of that, but then you have that little, you know, anti-synergy.
Mid lane gang coming in. Kilcord looking to see if
Early level
is it gonna be a level 1? He stopped to auto. Oh my god,
What?
to flag.
Oh,
Does he take it taken out? He does the trade.
I don't think the flash was necessary there from Lee Slinger, especially not. Okay, no, I just saw it on the replay. He did have flash, bro.
Oh
And
my gosh,
Fearbender just
getting right back in.
okay,
on the
interesting fights here.
I'm glad to see we're not taking a step back from the way we played the previous game.
Yeah,
It's just Clown Fiesta from the beginning.
yeah, it's definitely, you know.
I think I need to stand up already. I'm just gonna stand.
I'm up already as well.
Take a
Let's
while.
go. This is exciting times. Everyone in chat, spam DSG if you think DSG is gonna win. Spam Troepe if you think Troepe is gonna win, or TRP if you think Troepe is. But yeah, a level 2 gank there from this set. You know, very smart. And Fearbender very lucky to.
Yeah, Death does land. The Ignite comes out onto the Nick. Here comes.
Kilcord,
Looking to get him, but another
The
TP
first
coming
TP.
in.
Oh,
Now
it's
we're
stopped.
going to the top lane suddenly. Now we look at Pentademon does get stopped by the TP from the thing. Looking to see if we can turn on a Papa Smurfy. Papa Smurfy trading really well there. Absolutely dumpstering Pentademon in this trade. Oh, Flash is
Oh, okay, interesting.
Big third shot. Gonna see if the final hit can do it. Pentademon.
Okay. Oh, Fino.
Fino.
Oh,
Fino getting taken very low. He might actually die here. Oh, it does
Nice,
actually
breaks
end
him
up.
out.
A little bit of an outplay there.
Okay, so these teams have just decided, listen, we're not going to take a break. We are fighting the whole time. We are just picking it up where we left off in the previous game.
Also getting taken very low. Wow. Like,
That, yeah,
Good.
these teams are not taking a beat. When
No.
we all took 5 minutes to take a break, they took 5 minutes to hype themselves up to fight again, and Kilcord's bot.
This isn't gonna land. Kilcord, I will say one thing about Kilcord's gameplay right now. Fino is taxing his jungle. He is counter jungling him, and I do expect to see that from him. He spent the last 2.5 minutes in the bot lane, and he has managed to get a scuttle out of it. But I'm expecting to see Fino take his whole top side of the jungle and look to see if he can get a gank in the top lane.
Yeah, and he should know that this Volibear does not have flash, and he is coming top. Doing a lot of damage to Pentademon though.
This might end up having to just Papa Smithy just gonna walk away, and
Yeah.
Pentademon getting clapped, it must say, in this lane right now. Death Sentence lands onto
Oh,
the
another death.
Guardian, comes out there trying to turn it around. The Cosmic Binding
start.
lands, it's good.
A lot of minions though, so you don't want to really fight in a minion wave that big. Yeah, it must be said that, you know, I think Pentademon went a little too early there on the volley and taking too much damage, so they can't really turn it into anything. Not playing any summoners or anything like that, but it does alleviate some pressure off Pentademon. Fino going there being like, okay, cool, now I can breathe a little bit, reset the wave, you know, I'll be in that position. And Nick catching Kilcord second game in a row at this.
They get absolutely destroyed, okay?
Ooh. They said doing a lot of work in the early game, but like you mentioned earlier, doing a lot of work, but Fino is just taking a lot of jungle.
Ooh, Pentademon getting turned around on. He is going to take a lot of damage in this volley bear.
Ooh.
Give him the clap, and how many times are we going to watch this happen right now?
He does have flash. Is he just gonna flash a wall? No, he's dead. Okay, this is, you know, again a lot of fighting again from these two teams. They're not holding back at all.
Ooh, flash coming through,
snake.
looking for death sentence. Sleeping Wombat
Ooh.
does dodge. Turn around, quick trade. This Corki is getting absolutely hammered in this lane at the moment.
Yeah.
Every time we go to him, they're just trading non-stop. Ooh,
And he
meanwhile,
is a gank in bot lane.
oh, the Condemn doesn't land. They're trying to get onto him. The Cosmic
Ooh,
Binding
good
does.
Cosmic
Sleeping Wombat
Binding.
getting the kill. He's going to get a double kill. No, he doesn't actually.
Oh,
Comeback support.
yeah,
After
bad
this
supports, guys. Don't be
Oh, Killcord
Don't be like
looking
Nick.
for something in the mid lane. Is still level 4. Fearbender doesn't. Oh, he does have satchel shot. Sorry, I thought he just threw that. That's Zig's skin. Oh, he's still standing on a ward.
yeah.
But they do know Fino.
They
is
might
coming
just
up.
try and counter gank this. Fino is a level up. Okay, no, they're even levels now, but he is ahead in XP just because Killcord sat in bot lane for so long.
Oh,
But that should even out as it goes on. You see like 7 CS lead there, a whole wave lead in top lane, and will be more for Papa Smurfy, seeing as he's gonna pick up another wave. Mid lane you see about the same gap in CS, but just in the favor of DSG for Fearbender. And in bot lane, to be expected, the Ashe is ahead in CS, especially after Fino and them just ganked and ruined Ashe's day. So I'm expecting to see more of that. I'm expecting to see more of this emphasis on making this bot lane's life hell.
and Fino opting to go in to remove the Gromp from Killcord's jungle. I do think he should have opted to go for the wolves first. They are much easier to farm as Hecarim and much quicker. Also, one thing I would like to point out is I do think Fino made a little bit of a mistake not going for the Krugs earlier. That did end up actually, like
Yes.
all the work he had done with that counter jungling, it did kind of undo what he had done by rather opting for the gank and then just TPing back in the lane after the gank didn't work out. Papa Smurfy just absolutely styling on Pentademon in the lanes in these two games. It must be said. Oh, we do see Corki getting caught out. Onslaught of Shadows does
the
come
ult.
through. The Mega
Ooh,
Inferno Bomb doesn't manage to land. Oh, and he gets away. I
so
think Zig's
close.
taking another turret shot to land another Q. Oh,
Oh,
Killcord flashing in.
flash down.
Flash for flash.
Okay. Flash or flash. And that is what we talked about earlier with the anti-synergy. You know, using one ult and it's kind of saving your opponent from the other one. You know, so stuff like Bard ult and Hecarim ult can kind of mess you up. So yeah,
I feel like that was just a misplay coming through from
It-
Fear at the end of the day. Like,
it
the
was. Yeah.
Corki had already been feared, like, long before that. Oh, we do see Killcord stealing the blue, going straight onto Pentademon. Pentademon needing to flash away, I was going to say, being caught in the river right now, he actually has no right to be in the river at the moment in this game.
Yeah, it probably just a call coming from Fino saying, okay, listen, can you just go check if he's on my blue? And then him walking a little greedily, walking in the river, he could have easily gotten caught there if Troepe was on the same page. But yeah, fortunately for Penta, he didn't. But he had to expend that flash, which isn't really what you want to do.
We do see Corki with the package, looking to see what he can do. Rift Herald does go across over to Troepe, and they, although being behind and having a little bit less tempo in the game, was that just about to
Package,
expire?
though.
I assume so.
Yeah.
Having a little bit less sort of tempo in the game, I do feel like they're doing really well. They've managed to get 2 of the first objectives. They're probably going to get first tower now. They're looking to see if they can potentially dive onto Pentademon. He needs to be a little bit careful because Killcord is very strong, and I wouldn't be surprised if this Volibear just runs through and just
Yeah.
gets him up. We do see the Orn
Come
ulti.
on.
They are going to try and knock him up. They do manage to land. Here is Fino.
Oh.
They're trying to Killcord. The Mega Inferno Bomb does land. Papa Smurfy trying to get on.
Oh,
Pentademon
Pentademon gets out.
Get away, the smite comes through. Corki has to go into the fray, and Fearbender is now in trouble, but Fino does manage to get one. Corki Valkyrie in, but now he's got nowhere out, and he's gonna get killed for it. Fino's in trouble.
Oh, well, that just went from bad to worse for this side of Troepe. And they didn't even end up to pick one, you know. And yeah, that was so close. Looking at the HPs being like, damn, I can't believe they got away. That's where you type lucky in all chat. Because that was so close, and it must have said very well played from Fino. And now that's a fat pony. You know, 303, 66 farm. He's gonna soon get to that point, or if he's not already, where this Vayne, if she sees this horse, she is dead.
You, a little bit of a tongue twister there.
Yeah, it was hard.
And the thing for me that I have to point out again is, once again, same as the previous game, Troepe opting into these fights. They're coming in super disjointed and they're just getting picked off over and over again. And now they're going to start up this dragon, and so many key ultimates are actually up. Meanwhile, Killcode looking to see if he get in. He does get the showstopper off, but I don't know if he can win the fight against Fino. Fino's looking to see if he can trade. He plants himself back in. Fino's still chasing him off. Tempered Fate goes somewhere, I have no clue where. Vayne gonna flash in onto Fino. They do manage to get him, but the Vayne getting taken solo. Another amazing Cosmic Binding landing. Pentademon in the river getting taken very low. Does get saved by the Zig Satchel, but he decides to carry on fighting. Papa Smurfy just getting slowed by another Cosmic Binding. Ignite comes out. They are gonna get onto him, but meanwhile, the Mega Inferno Bomb getting in. Oh, another Cosmic Binding gonna hit.
Ooh.
Doesn't get the step, just saving them in time. And are they not gonna dive in for this? Rather gonna opt
just gonna go
back.
for the dragon.
DSG just
Early. Fino
Vayne-
going a little ham there. Okay, he went a little deep without his team being there. But, you know, at the end of the day, Leaping Wombat walking up, getting his lane counterpart. And, you know, this Ash can get to the point where she's very scary. She is going for the Mirror Mana build, which I do not like into the comp of DSG, or into the comp of Troepe, especially because they have a Volley Bear and a Set. Stuff that like to run at you. And I do not like me playing some Ash myself, probably not as well as Leaping Wombat, but yeah, this is definitely a ball game.
I definitely agree with you. I do see the Vayne actually maybe did listen to a little bit of the cast. They're opting to go for Bork instead of Mirror this game as well. No, I'm just joking. Oh, Fino, aggressive. Oh, see, they see the power of the Bork. He just gave him that Bridgewater cutlass, and Fino's like, you know what? No, I'm sorry, I'm out. I don't want to fight this anymore.
Yeah, you don't lose the shopkeeper, please leave. But yeah, so if you listen to what Sneaky says, Sneaky, who used to play for Cloud9, he's also Challenger AD carry. Oh, wait, dude, all the ends
I might have to cut you off here because I do feel like another
there's a guy.
showstopper coming out. They do manage to deactivate the tower. Pendemon's just dead. He's got no hope, but Mega Inferno Bomb gonna come out, do absolutely
Does
nothing. Not even
nothing,
removing
yeah.
the shield properly off of Papa Smurfy.
That's gonna be first tower blood as well. Should be, unless the Ziggs can come and clear it. No, this tower's just out.
Look,
Yeah, so according to the stats, right? And this is something I spoke to Vanzor about, the AD carry for Royalty and the 1v1 champion. I'm just gonna always say that with his name, like that's his identity. But how he sees it, yes, okay. On paper, Mirror Mana is stronger, like cost efficient and does more damage, yes. But there's a couple of problems with it. First, you don't have the shred. Secondly, the active, which gives you a little bit of self peel, which allows you to get away from these type of people slowing them and spinning yourself up, and then having the lifesteal, okay? And it makes your spike a lot earlier. The problem with a Mirror Mana is that your spike is delayed until like mid game, which you don't really want it to be, whereas the Blade of the Ruin King helps you spike a little earlier, and especially against tanks, I think it's just straight up better. And speaking to Kiddo as well, which is the mid laner for 80k, but is a challenger AD carry, he also, that's how he says it. Every time he comes on my stream and he flames me for my Ash build, so that's why I know what you're supposed to build.
can we just talk about the fact that that Corky Skins package is actually a bunch of biscuits? Like
I
dog
did not
biscuits?
see that, are you really? Seriously?
That's amazing.
Oh, it is.
Oh, let's Snake looking to see what they can do. I do think
Another
Corky is
good
coming with a
cosmic
package. Here comes a flash in. Amazing Tempered Fate. Does the Cosmic Binding get in there? It does, but Vayne is just going to dive in. Such free much wow does get the shutdown. They're going to pick up one plant for the Nick. But the Nick, he's looking a bit lost in this world. Is he going to be able to get out? Oh, he's just see if he can trade.
Nick isn't scared.
Nick isn't scared, eh? He really isn't scared.
He's,
That's why he's the Nick, not just Nick.
That is true. That is true, and it has to be said, his Cosmic Bindings has been on. You have to give it to the man. His board is kind of clean.
His board is looking kind of clean. I will not lie to you.
Yeah.
I had a really important other point to make, and it's just totally gone
Was
now.
it about build?
No, I don't think it was about build. It was something far more important.
Ooh,
Coming
okay.
to the bot lane, interesting interaction. Cosmic Binding landing onto the thresh. Wow! I remember what it is. I remember what it is now. One
Let's
thing
make
I'd love to point out right now
Yeah.
is the fact that even though the Corki package is amazing, and that is a great thing I'd like to point out, the fact of the matter is we have a high damage mid laner and a high damage AD carry on both sides.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can look at it and a high damage jungler coming out of Fino.
Yeah.
As well as a high damage support. And guess what? It's Infernal Drake. Isn't this an Infernal Rip?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, it is. It is Infernal.
Infernal. So,
Okay.
ooh.
Ooh, another
Fino
fight.
going very aggro kill court, getting
Fears him away from the blasting cone.
steer him away from the blasting code. Vayne has joined the fray, and Fino looks like he's gonna fall.
Ooh.
That's gonna be the first kill, or the third kill being donated over to the Vayne, and oh, the Ziggs is starting to do a
the Ziggs
lot
is
of damage.
Sitting
just
on
look
8
Zone
stacks.
control. Look at the zone control in this game. Snake getting taken at half health, just trying to clear some wards and get some.
Yeah. I mean, and it has to be said, Ziggs very strong right now. I think he, in my opinion, is one of the strongest AD carries if you can play him well. If you can't, you'll basically just dead weight. But I mean, Fearbender's fall 1 and 2, looking very strong on it. And we said it before the game even starts. He is a very competent Ziggs, and he can be very scary on that champion. And we're seeing it right now.
Oh, thought he was gonna steal that.
Yeah.
I am a little bit surprised that they decided to opt for the dragon fight instead of rotating the Ashe across to potentially either pick up the Corki in the mid lane or potentially go for the Rift Herald, because I mean there was no way they were going to contest that with Fino being dead. Maybe a lucky steal from the Zig, but
Yeah, and it's like they're basically just watching them take the tower.
no.
You know, oh, not the tower, sorry, the Drake. So it's like kind of, what's the point in doing that?
Ooh, guess that it's almost turning into Leaping Wombat. Leaping Wombat, so aggressive in this lane.
Yeah.
And that's just what the Ashe does.
Yeah, and he's not scared at all. Now, he is... Okay, now he's got Bulge Water, so he listened to the cast, but the problem is, you're still sitting on the... Now you have two starting items,
Coming
Fino.
mid lane. I was just gonna.
Okay.
Oh, and that's a TP.
Ooh,
Oh, and that's a
Volley
big
there.
mistake from the volley in the top lane.
That feels bad. But yeah, now he's going for Bork
Oh,
after this.
that's coming in. The Nick gonna eat that
Oh,
binding.
good.
Sarah has come down. But, oh, it doesn't actually come down. Vayne gonna follow after the bot. Oh, another Cosmic Binding.
Binding.
Cleanse comes out. Vayne chasing after him. Tempered Fate is gonna lock up the Vayne. Meanwhile,
Papa
in-
Smurf in trouble.
Father Rifter, Papa Smurfy running out. And they're gonna turn over this into Rifter then. I mean, the Ashe didn't die, so it's not
Yeah.
that terrible for DSG.
And you know, both cleanse plus flash expended there from the Vayne. So, you know, same heal plus flash for the Ashe. But on this timing, if you catch this Vayne without cleanse, with anything, she's just in big trouble. You know, so I'm hoping to see Fino especially playing around the fact that she doesn't have ult.
What I'd really like to see out of DSG at the moment is using this Ashe ulti kind of more aggressively. I do feel
Yeah.
like Ashe is in a lot of trouble right now.
Yeah,
and
she's dead.
I feel like
There's a lot.
very dead, and she doesn't know it's coming. Potentially she could ulti the set, but I don't think she's got a way out.
Yeah, she's just dead, yeah.
But I mean, they can potentially like they can literally get an inhibitor turret from this.
They can Fino, okay. Just forcing him to use the package.
They're gonna get the second charge off. Dude, Ziggs can just
Should.
delete this turret.
Yeah.
They are gonna get collapsed on. Will the Ziggs use a satchel charge on you? Oh, is the satchel charge in
Oh,
cooldown?
they
Fino
will
gonna
go
get
up
killed.
much.
Fearbender in a lot of trouble. Uses
They're
the
just gonna aim for the
trap
tower.
over the. Dude, this is
Let's
just
see.
looking so bad. Can Pentademon get the kill onto the Corki? No, he can't. But Killcord still trying to catch Fearbender. Fearbender's gonna get shut down. That's a lot of money going across, and Pentademon also gonna donate 300 gold over to Lee Slinger.
Yeah, so they got some map pressure there, but giving up a lot for it. You know, that is a total of 4 kills lost in a couple of seconds. You know, the Ashe dying bot lane, and then the trio of the top side of their map dying in mid trying to get another tower and got a little bit greedy. Take the charge. You can always walk back with the Ziggs and just satchel charge it. That's that. But you know, they were saying, okay, no, we want that gold right now. And, you know, they all died for it.
And it must be said, Vayne picking up a 500 gold bounty now after picking up quite a few kills in a row.
Yeah, definitely. And now, you know, it gets to the point. Vayne hit 2 items. Okay, she's on Borg, she has a Rage Blade, she's starting to get scary. Probably gonna go something like a Phantom Dancer third. I think that is the build. I'm not 100% sure. Phantom Dancer, maybe IE, one of those two. But, you know, it gets to the point now where you catch Vayne in a side lane, and she can 1v1 almost anyone in the opposing team.
I mean, I would actually even potentially say if Vayne decided to build a Quicksilver Sash, that would actually be the best option for her.
Yeah,
right?
actually, you're right.
There's
QSS
so
is
much
a good
damage
team.
coming out of this Ziggs. There's so much CC. Yes, you have the cleanse, but you can also use the QSS on top of that to just keep you more alive. Here it does
Oh.
come in front of Crystal Arrow onto the Vayne. He's going to try and get onto the Lantern, but the Auto's going to follow him. And then the Tempered Fate going to land onto Papa Smurf.
Cosmic Binding?
Cosmic Binding misses the
Oh,
timing off, but ooh, the Showstopper coming out. Everybody just trying to
Oh, no.
pile onto the Ash, but they're not going to get
is free
through.
hitting.
This is
Six
free
free.
hitting. And Ash is free hitting, and this is
Everything's
going to be a quick turnover, and they could end the game with
Oh
this.
my word, that was crazy. And that's the power of the DSG comp. We said this beforehand, you know, and they just run them over. They get a nice little pick on the Vayne, who didn't have cleanse in that fight. And after that, it's like just run-of-the-mill press on and kill everything.
They can end the game off of this if the Vayne
This
doesn't
is
go, like
crazy.
if the Vayne doesn't pop off here. Oh, Fino
Oh.
getting taken very low. I mean, they might need to want to focus the Vayne, but that is one turret gone.
Yeah,
But are they going to be able to get Drake now? This is the question.
yeah. I mean, everyone on Triple will be up, but will they get there in time? There's no TP on Papa Smurfy. So if they start this, they might be able to do it pretty quickly. Will they even opt to actually contest, or just be like, cool,
Oh,
let's cut the
looks like
losses?
Killcord's running down there already, but they're actually going to go for the Baron.
That's
Pink
not
going
a
down on the
bad
Baron,
call.
that's not a bad call, but the only thing I will say is that's a Ziggs. That's still a Ziggs.
Yeah,
That is
but
level
I mean,
13. Oh, they're
all
opting.
of them are sitting on a lot of gold. That wouldn't have been a bad call from Troepe, seeing as all of the DSG members are sitting on over 1.5k gold. So all of that advantages they just got from killing you, they don't have
But,
in their shop anymore.
but they have so many ways of stalling you out. I mean,
That
3
is
of the members from DSG can recall, and your Ziggs can throw his bomb onto the thing. Your Bard can throw Tempered Fate to stop the Baron for at least a couple, I think it's 2 seconds or 2.5 seconds or something. Those are some serious, like, easy ways to sort of slow down the Baron take. A little bit of
100%,
a
and 2 of them
disjointed-
had TP. And 2 of them had TP. So if I think the correct play would be to try and force out those TPs, or try and force a fight out of it. So try and like get them to come to the Baron, or if DSG makes the right read, where it's like the 2 people with TP back. Ooh,
And gets hit with a face breaker. He gets stunned into the wall, but the Enchanted Crystal Arrow goes down onto the Vayne. But I don't know if Leaping Wombat wants this fight. Ash flashes, she's
Oh!
gonna hurt. She does die as well.
Dead. Here
But
comes
here
Fino.
comes Ian Fino, he's getting onto the Snake. The Snake forced to flash away. Onslaught of Shadows going straight over to the Jungler. If they get the Jungler, they can get the
Oh.
Baron. He does die. Corky packages in, gets knocked
He's
back into the
melee range.
Death Sentence is going to land, but Ziggs manages to get the Corky, and then the Nick running for his life. Papa Smurfy flashing for the support.
Fearbeam just chucking bombs.
Yeah, and I mean, it ends up being a 3 for 3 in the end, but this game is just so scrappy, and it must be said that, you know, this game was looking so good for DSG, and I don't think it's that bad at the moment, but it does feel like the game is getting closer and closer, and I did feel like they had quite a substantial lead to a point.
Yeah, definitely. And now, like, for DSG to win here, they need to exploit the fact that Vayne does not have ult right now. She got hit by the Enchanted Crystal Arrow from Leaping Wombat, and now she does not have that. She used it, and if they play it right, they should be able to exploit the fact that she doesn't have it and then end the game off that. Fino, they're walking up very far by himself.
No,
Okay,
he
no, the
is
rest
gonna
of
get
the
caught
issues
up.
here.
Here comes the Mega Inferno Bomb doing lots of damage. They're trying to get to Fino, but they can't do it, and the axe is
Oh.
just absolutely annihilating them. Death Sentence does land, and I think that could potentially be Baron. I'd like to
Yeah.
see them rush the Baron, just because kill cord is so low. But I think they're going to rather opt to see if they can pretend. Oh, okay, Ziggs is very low on mana. I don't even know if they should take this fight, technically speaking.
I mean, how far is he from leveling up? That does give him some. No, Fino.
Oh,
Is he just
the
going?
Vayne-
Fino!
Vayne's going straight into the Vayne. Vayne getting taken very low. The Death Sentence does that. Tempered Fate does actually hit the Ash, but the Lantern comes out. They are going to see if they can get it, but she's just going to walk away. Meanwhile, they are going to take the Magical Journey. And are they going to get onto the jungler? They just can't manage to finish off. But Fino gets caught up by the Vayne and then dies. And Pentademon's also going to overextend, and he is going to get taken out. And this is another, and a TP coming in from Papa Smurfy. Can
This
Leaping
could be
Wombat
Baron.
kite out though? They die, this could be Baron.
This probably is Baron.
But
They
they're
could
going to
just
opt
walk
to
Baron.
chase? Are they going to keep chasing? They could just do
Looks
Baron.
like it.
They're going to see if they get
Oh,
into Fear Bender. The
okay.
first hopper does come out. Killcourt might actually die to the... No, he won't die. Okay, he won't die to the turret.
Are they just gonna go for Baron here, or do they opt to push? They don't have waves really anywhere, so that should just be Baron.
Yeah.
And you know, just to overstay and overzealous there from the side of DSG, and not respecting the kind of damage that that Troepe can pull out. And Troepe very much now again in the driving seat, you know?
Yeah.
Vayne is very scary.
Another 3 kills going over to the Vayne. I know this might sound like sort of an optimistic way of looking at it, but I would really have liked to see Leaping Wombat. Even though he did run out, he did realize that they weren't chasing him anymore. I wish he had cleared out that side of the jungle and just made it like sort of efficient. I know there's lots of vision there, but I feel like that would have been a really good option. Just clear out the blue buff, pick up as much as you can on that side of the jungle before you recall. That's something you do see pro players doing regularly.
Yeah.
Even though they're dead, they should be dead, you know, as the last man standing. They will do that on often.
Yeah,
But now
you're
the Baron-
getting a lot and you're not giving a lot away.
Oh,
Or
dude,
you're
now-
taking a lot away, I mean.
Now with the Baron, I really feel like they shouldn't even look to fight this.
Do you just give over this dragon if
But I
you
don't know, there's so much AoE, there's an enchanted crystal. They should look to get the Corki with the arrow.
Corki is so low right now.
Because you know the Vayne has cleanse up still.
Cleanses up. Yeah.
You should be
And
looking for the
she has
enchanted.
PD. And she has PD right now.
Yeah, I still don't agree with the fact that she didn't build the Quicksilver
QSA.
pouch.
Yeah. Even though she has cleanse, you know, having both of them, you should almost never be without cleansing.
And Troepe doing this
Dragon
really
does
well
reset.
because there's a massive wave in the top lane right now. Fino looking to see if he can. Showstopper does come out. Tons of damage going down. Ziggs landing a 4-man ulti. Sorry, Fino goes in with the onslaught of shadows. Vayne doesn't get tagged up. The Corki does. Vayne gets free hitting right now. That does get onto the Ash. Cleanse comes out, but they're all melee range. And that's going to be a quick cleanup. And opting to go for this fight when they had the Baron, they're going to lose so much. I wish I had a Baron power play right now.
And that is, you know, the magic of Vayne when she's this far ahead. Even though she has cleanse, you need to tag her up with something, force her to play the cleanse. Can't fight there. Because if you see her just rolling around, she's on 3 items. Can't just let her do what she wants. And, you know, Troepe just showing like, listen, just because you beat us game 1, doesn't mean you're going to get game 2 for free.
Man, I know we spoke about people not losing to the shopkeeper, but that Vayne is about to build the wit's end instead of a cleanse instead of the cleanse item.
Yeah, that's just a yikes. You already have PD. Wit's end is like kind of meh.
I mean, she might not build the wit's end, but that definitely looks like
a
component
wit's
of
end
wit's
item.
end to me,
Yeah.
and that's a big yikes from me in my opinion. So
Yeah, there's a lot of like, I don't know, like unoptimized building here, in my opinion. You know, a Pentademon is level 13 now, so you're gonna start seeing some upgraded items coming out of him soon, and that can throw it back to DSG when they get that upgraded Rabadons on the Ziggs. I just hope they remember how it works, and that you're supposed to swap it to your second slot. That's what it will upgrade.
I would just love them to just pull the trigger on the Corki. Every single fight I keep seeing the Corki walking so far up, and Enchanted Crystal Arrow, you know, you've got Call of the Forge Gods, you've got so many options to just blow up the Corki and every single fight. Although I know the Vayne is one of the main priorities in all of these fights, you can just delete the Corki in every single fight in these games.
Yeah. I mean, you can use your Enchanted Crystal Arrow on the Corki, right? And then use Onslaught of Shadows plus your Ornhorn to mess with the Vayne. Especially, you can't cleanse knockups, first of all, so that makes it odd. And secondly, she doesn't have cleanse right now either. So something like an Onslaught of Shadows can make this Vayne's life a living hell. As long as it's not very obvious, because such free Much Wow is clearly a very competent Vayne player and will be keeping his eye out for these types of
Ooh, Ash is in trouble. It's coming. Death Sentence lands onto Fino. Here comes the flash in from the set. He's going to see if he can do it. Fino's been taken out. The Ash has been picked off quickly. Huge damage coming through from the Ziggs. Can he potentially turn the fight around? I don't think so. And that's an easy 3-for-0 exchange. And I think that might be game. There's the potential that might be game. They've got a long way to go though. I think it might just be an inhibitor, but that might be the game.
Yeah, definitely. This is looking crazy right now.
And it's almost like Troepe just like deciding, okay, cool, we're gonna take this time to fight, and DSG. I mean, when it is their time to fight, I feel like they're taking too long to pull the trigger. They're just waiting, walking up, getting caught by a death sentence, and then, you know, that's just how it's going down in these fights.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm really sad we're not going to get a game 3 right now. Because I totally feel like this is going to end up going into Troepe. But look, oh, Fino ghosting in.
Ghosting.
Oh, gonna see if he can get into the cork. He does go in. Does get the on shot on the thing, but it's gonna mess with the Ziggs ulti, and we do see kill cord getting taken really low. He does die. Death Sentence lands onto the Nick. Vayne is just unmarked right now. Oh. And there's that counter synergy that you've been speaking about.
I mean, if you don't pay attention to what is being thrown, when it's being thrown, and you're not coordinated to run stuff with counter synergy, you will inevitably mess each other's ults up with throwing all your shit at the same time, which you just saw it there.
Yeah, and it looks like a little bit of helplessness coming through from the side of DSG. They were looking so confident earlier in this game, and now it's just kind of Fino running it down sort of in the last 3 fights. And this is going to be Infernal Drake. I'm pretty sure going over to the side of Troepe right now. They are setting up. They have got vision. They don't even need to start this right now. They just need to make sure they clear the vision, sit in a bush, look for a thresh hook, potentially catch a Bard or an Ash or someone else that doesn't have a cleanse, because no one has cleanse on the side of DSG.
Yeah. Oh, but they just straight up TP. They're like, whatever, we're just gonna go for it. No shame, nothing.
Is the jungler there?
Wits End is completed, like you mentioned, and it looks like he's going in for... Oh, okay, never mind,
fight
starting.
Running it in, and he's just deleted instantly. Vayne looks to see what he can do. Leaping Wombat is taken down. Vayne gets a quick... Corki actually gets the double kill in the end. And they do see...
Just death all around.
Just absolute death everywhere, and DSG just absolutely running away. I mean, running away. That's game. That's done. No argument there.
And I mean, once again, Troepe can't count this team out. We said it in the Just Chatting before this tournament started. Troepe is a very scary team. They can take games off of you and they can beat you. So if you're going to disrespect this team, you're not going to put respect on their name. They're going to beat you. But the same needs to be said from DSG. They won game 1. And this is the unfortunate thing of game 2. We don't have a clear winner. Now we know these teams
That's the whole point. That's so much fun.
Yeah, now we have to wait until after group stages to know who actually won. You know, who is the better team.
At the moment, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who ends up above who on the table, in my opinion. When they met each other, they went 1-1. So who is the better team, we'll never know.
Yeah, and even though I felt a lot of draft mistakes came out from Troepe with them picking 80 carries a little earlier, not setting it up for that, I think that is something they need to look at when it comes to when they're playing teams like Era Millennium and teams like ATK. Like, you're not going to be able to necessarily get away with that. But I really liked how both teams played. They gave 2 very hyped games, and you know, the race is gonna be very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the end game results here,
Your six did a lot of damage.
Ziggs did do a huge amount of damage. But also, it must be said, Listenek just Listenek like
Yeah.
like the bot lane coming through. I can't really give it to one of them. I do feel like yes, the Vayne played really well in the late game, but I mean we had to wait for the Vayne to get to the late game. You know, she played well mid game as well, but she
Yes.
didn't. She was like. He was consistently good. He wasn't my standout player for the team. Listenek, dude, like death
Yeah.
sentence after death sentence
Yeah.
after death sentence after death sentence, man.
Just
Like,
magnets, just throwing it out, magneting people in there, and you know he looked on point. It has to be said, his thresh. There's a reason they pick it that early. We were saying, cool, why are you picking this with Vayne? Why you do? And clearly, it's like, dude, I'm comfortable. I can, I can just beat anyone with it. But yeah, I think we're gonna take a minute or so break, and then we're gonna pull in people from each team. Or do you just want to do that now, Alex? What are you thinking right now?
I think maybe give it like a 5 minute break just so Kyle can make sure he gets everything sorted out, and then we can bring in some of the teams and
Okay.
see what it is to say.
So people stick around. We're gonna have an interview after this, and yeah, we'll be right back.
Feel uninvited. Left your home in West LA. I'm not excited. So uninspired. On my way to play the bay while you're alone. This girl's a wonder. She loves me, yeah. She needs to know I love her.
Hello.
We'll make it through this summer.
Thank you very much. I met
Why don't you love me, love me, love me? Touch me, touch me, touch me no more. Why don't you love me, love me, love me? Touch me, touch me, touch me no more. Love me, love me, love me. Touch me, touch me, touch me.
Okay. Welcome back, everyone. Alex Rymill unfortunately had to leave us, but I'm joined by two of the players from the previous game. Snake again, who we also interviewed from Troepe, and Ian Fino from DSG, the jungler for DSG. So Snake, first of all, I have to say, very good thresh. I was wondering why you guys picked it that early, but after going 1-1 against DSG, is that kind of what you guys expected, or did you guys expect maybe something a little different?
It was always a possibility that we would go 1-1, but we did expect the 2-0, but there was a few draft errors in game 1, which heavily affected the game. I felt like we absorbed the amount of pressure they put on us really well. And then mid-game came, and we were just making so many errors for no reason. And they
100%.
capitalized well on that. And
It definitely felt like you guys early game did very well, but once it hit mid game, and I said this on cast, it just felt like DSG just was rotating around the map better. They kept catching you when you thought you had the numbers advantage, but they were just a step ahead. And yeah,
they out macroed us heavily in
Yeah.
game 1, definitely.
yeah. Now, Fino, with you guys coming into this, I'm guessing you guys also expected a 2-0, seeing as you were to 1-2-0 twice before this game. Is this a disappointing result, or is this something that was in the back of your head?
We lost 2-1 last time. So both times we beat them, I was on Jarvan. So maybe I need to expand my champ pool a bit. Who knows?
Maybe.
But yeah, in all honesty, it might. We game 1 we should have closed out quicker, and game 2 we should have closed out as well. I think keeping composure against that 80 carry player is key in these games. So don't want to say it was fatigue or anything, but I think a bit of running it down both games was not great.
Yeah.
But hey, we'll go practice and see what we can do next time.
Definitely. There was some interesting drafting, and it's something that Snake mentioned before we came in. A lot of stuff that I just and I've questioned on the cast, and now you have a time to defend yourself and tell me I'm dumb. First of all, okay, you guys didn't ban Jarvan, they banned Ezreal. Okay, that's one thing. That's not like the end of the world. But picking Twitch and Vayne both on your third pick, both times, is kind of if I doubt that they would ban that directly. Maybe the Vayne, yes, but I doubt they ban the Twitch.
I know the Twitch was definitely a really big mistake. I felt like because they already showed their bot lane in game 2 and Ornn, which is Ornn is not a champion versus Vayne. It's a sponge. So I felt Vayne was very safe here in game 2 because we already saw the bot, and such pretty much was a Vayne one trick when he started playing League. So I felt very confident on Vayne. We needed him to carry.
He did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. I just think
just comfort. We needed comfort there.
Comfort is fine, but I think picking it that early, you're handicapping yourself, right? Because the right response from DSG should have been easy to hit CC, right? Unfortunately, Fino, you guys went a little the opposite direction and kind of picked stuff that, in theory, should work together, but kind of counters each other, right? So you have the Cosmic Radiance, whatever that alt of Bard is called, with Onslaught of Shadows, kind of inhibiting the damage of your Zigzalt and your Ornhorn and stuff like that. And you saw it a couple of times where you guys just weren't on the same page, and you were helping Troepe dodge the stuff by hitting the stuff at the same time. Did that come across in the game or even in the draft at all? Did you guys think of that?
I kind of just was like, I want to play Hecarim this game. Let's see how it works, because I haven't played it in BS yet. I think it was fine until I just started running it down. And then we had 1 or 2 little unlucky situations. But I think just definitely a composure thing.
Yeah. Now, something like maybe, and I know a lot of people are going to meme me for this, but something like Sidrani in that comp works, in my opinion, way better. You still have the same pick potential. Your little tank here. Yes, you can't solo kill people like you did, but if with that setup, you hit a Vayne or anyone, they're dead.
she
maybe
has cleanse.
Yeah, she can cleanse one thing.
Yeah, that's true. But
only a minute. There was a couple of times she died, because the cleanse was down. So
Yeah.
if cool, let's say you have Sedge, you throw that at her. Now she cleanses. DSG doesn't have to fight. You just wait until Sedge ult is up again, and now either you can't fight because if she gets hit by anything, she's dead. You know, or so you guys have to concede something, or if she dies, you lose the fight, and you kind of have to coin flip it. I'm not saying that Sage is the best pick. I'm just saying, like something like that might have been a little bit
Vayne
better.
likes to play into Sejani, and he also giving Set another target to ult into his team and do loads
Okay,
of
well, then
damage.
Camille. You know,
No, Camille would have
anything.
been a good pick, but
Yeah, I'm just literally thinking off the top of my head. The thing is, with the amount of times they could have set up something that could mess with you, it would have made your life way worse. You know?
yeah, they needed to kill Vayne, but we also had Corky on the
Yeah.
backup. He did basically the same amount of damage than Vayne in the end of the game. So we had 2 carries in game 2.
100%. But the thing is, you kind of, if you play against a Vayne and a Vayne is fed, you kind of get stuck on killing the Vayne. So
Yeah.
your mind kind of gets lost. But
That's true.
yeah, at the end of the day, you saw the 80 carries doing very well. I have to congratulate Fino. You were our player of the game for game 1, as Alex Rymill also mentioned. And then player for of the game 2. A lot of people probably would have thought the Vayne. Me and Alex said, listen, Nick, you were hitting a lot of death sentences and looking very good. And then the last
Thank you.
question I just want to ask, you guys both have very hard games coming up. Fino, you guys are playing XYZ Reflect. Yeah. Which
Yep.
Troepe played.
Bansona.
Yeah, which Troepe played, and they went 1-1 against. So that again is going to be a very close game. You know, are you excited for the game? How do you think that's going to go?
Yeah, we have scrimmed them a couple times. Mainly with Mario jungling, not the normal jungler. So depending on who you think is better, it's either easier or harder for us.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Well, they went 1-1 too, so hopefully that will be another good games. And then for you, Snake, you guys are playing Era Millennium next, the team who ended 4th in the leg, and they're looking very good. How are you feeling going up
That's
against them?
by far the game I'm the most excited to play, because we've played Era twice now, and both times we didn't have the full team. The first time my internet was acting up and I couldn't play, and the second time we didn't have our main mid laner. So I'm really excited to see how it goes when we go at them full strength.
Okay, well, that's going to be exciting. A lot of exciting games coming up. I hope you guys do well and prep properly, and it's going to be good games. I wish you the best of luck. For
Thank you.
everyone else in chat and everyone, we are casting tomorrow ATG 0 versus Era Lost Time. That's a Group D or B game, and that's going to be very interesting. But from the rest of us from VS, just want to say thank you for watching, and well played, both teams.
Thank you very much. Well played.
Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers.
Perfect. Cheers, everyone. Have a good night.